Came at the right time. What he does best is get the tough yard for you, even though it was just 59 yards on the afternoon. He took all the pressure off of Flutie because on second and short yardage, he could get the first down.
Now the Atlanta Falcons are 1-4, and they have been close in a lot of their ball games, but that's not getting the job done. Their quarterback, Chris Miller, threw for 340 yards last week against the Rams. What about Miller?
Miller can throw the football, got a big arm, can throw it downfield, but he also has a lot of scrambling ability. The problem today will be that Miller does not have John Settle in the backfield, the all-pro running back from a year ago. Sprained an ankle. He'll be replaced in the lineup by Kenny Flowers.
So there's John Settle. Didn't practice much during the week. The ankle cranky, went out on the field for pregame warm-ups and decided he's a no-go, at least in the starting lineup. Now the Patriots win the toss, and they will receive. Paul McFadden will kick it away for the Atlanta Falcons. There's McFadden, a Plan B free agent over from the New York Giants, and he'll kick it away to Sammy Martin or Rodney Rice, who are standing back deep at the goal line as we get set to see if the Patriots, who are starting a 3-game road trip, can make it 2 wins in a row here this afternoon. Martin is 2 yards deep in his own end zone, and he brings it out. And gets a big hole. And Sammy Martin makes things happen as he brings it from 2 yards deep in his own end zone out to the 31-yard line, where Gary Wilkins, a tight end, brings him down. Here comes Doug Flutie out into the Patriots offensive huddle. We'll check the Patriots starting lineup now. The Patriots offensive line has a change on it coming into this game this week, as David Vian will get a start at left tackle. There's Flutie in the Patriots huddle. He's only completed 40% of his passes so far this season. 1st and 10, New England, out over their own 30-yard line. Robert Perryman and John Stevens make up the backfield. Flutie sets them down, and there goes Perryman out in motion. They give to John Stevens. Stevens tried to turn it to the outside, and he couldn't. He was brought down by Tim Green, the linebacker out of Syracuse. All right, the Patriots offensive line. David Vian gets his first start in there for Danny Villa, who's out injured. Farrell, Babb, Fairchild, and Armstrong, they all played well last week. Flutie, quarterback, Stevens, Perryman in the backfield. Morgan, Jones, and Dawson's the tight end. Now, in the Patriots passing situation, the jet offense, here's what happens. Morgan and Jones stay in. Sammy Martin comes in. Dupart as a receiving back, and their top draft choice, the rookie Hartley Dykes out of Oklahoma State. 2nd down and 10. No gain on the first down play by John Stevens. Flutie almost had the Falcons jumping off. He sets up and fires, and Cedric Jones is popped by the rookie primetime Deion Sanders, who is making his first start. And there it is, show and tell, Deion Sanders. All right, here's the Falcons defense now. Sanders is in there getting his first start at cornerback. And it will be 3rd down and long for the Patriots. There he is, Deion Sanders. Gann, Casillas, Ben Thomas, an ex-Patriot. The linebackers, Bruce, Grady, Tuggle, and Green. Then in their nickel situation, here's what happens. Thomas and Gann stay in there. Bobby Butler comes in as the extra defensive back. And their secondary looks like that. Sanders, Case, Cooper, and Gordon on 3rd down and 10 for the Patriots. In the pocket, Flutie, and Sammy Martin makes the catch, and he's got a first down out over the 40-yard line. Up near the 44, Bobby Butler, who has lost his starting job now to Deion Sanders, comes in on the coverage.
So the interesting part about that drive, the pass that Flutie threw out to Cedric Jones, a well-thrown ball, but when you have somebody like Deion Sanders standing back there, great makeup speed, Cedric Jones did not come back to the football, and someone like Deion Sanders will knock that ball down most of the time. Flutie showing good poise, though. Last week, you'll remember, he was underthrowing the football. Today, 2 passes on target twice.
Lynn Dawson moves down the line of scrimmage in motion, the tight end. Now at the top of your screen, that's Cedric Jones in motion. They give it off to Robert Perryman, and Perryman slants off the left side and gets out over the 45-yard line up near the 48. He's brought down by Tim Green. Perryman also played very well last week as the New England running attack didn't get big numbers, but what they did do was control the football for them, and that's what they like to do.
Yeah, and the problem they'll have today with their running back situation, 2 of their running backs are injured. They're playing with just 3 healthy people. Marvin Allen, who's a backup fullback and halfback, is injured. He's off of the active roster today, and Mosi Tutupa will not play this afternoon. So they only have 3 healthy running backs to line up behind Flutie.
2nd and 6. Perryman got 4 on first down. Stevens sweeping. Up to the midfield stripe, and that's it. And once again, Tim Green is in there along with Tony Casillas. As a nose tackle, Casillas leads the team in tackles with 55 coming into the game today. That's only like the AFC's Tim Crumry from the Cincinnati Bengals. Usually a nose tackle doesn't lead your team.
And the reason for that is because nose tackles are just double team and triple team throughout the day. They're right in the middle of the defense, and a guard or a tackle is usually coming down and blocking on them. For a nose tackle, your only job is to not get beaten up too badly. Tony Casillas does it one step better. He beats people and gets to the ball.
Dupart is in the backfield with Flutie. 3rd down and 5. 4 wide receivers into the game. Flutie firing, and again he's got Sammy Martin, and another New England first down inside the Atlanta 40 at the 39-yard line, and they picked on primetime Deion Sanders on that play, and Martin's been a big factor early in the game.
Yeah, he certainly has. In front of Deion Sanders, good timing pattern. Flutie gets rid of the ball quickly, bottom part of your screen. Now the problem here is that Sanders, with the great makeup speed, later on in the contest, Flutie had better make sure he gets the ball out there quickly, because primetime is the kind of guy who can step in front of that pass and go the other way with it.
12-yard pickup on that 3rd down play, and Flutie's come up with 2 critical 3rd down conversions, both 3rd and long, and he nailed Martin with passes. Now he's got 1st down, play action, rolling out. Tim Green chasing him, and Flutie does a smart thing as he throws it nose down into the turf, as Green was on him all the way, chasing him to the outside, and Green showed very good pursuit. What Flutie likes to do is get that corner, Jimmy, and he didn't get it there.
Yeah, usually what the Falcons want to do is try to keep him into the pocket, because Doug Flutie, a la Joe Montana, throws the football better when he gets outside of the pocket. Tim Green has got to keep that kind of containment to not allow Flutie to get outside. Here they had good coverage downfield. Flutie makes the good decision, throwing it into the ground. But for Tim Green, he wants to be chasing Flutie inside, not to the outside.
2nd down and 10. Stevens is the lone back in the backfield right now. And yet New England goes with 3 wide receivers, as we have not seen Irving Fryer play yet here. Fryer injured his knee again last week. John Stevens gets the carry. Loose football. The officials say the play was dead at the 35-yard line. There's 70, David Vienne, getting his first start today. Tim Green picks up the football, but the whistle had blown, and Stevens was down at the 35-yard line. So again, it's 3rd down. He's got about 6 or 7 to go for a first down. So the Patriots will most likely bring in their jet formation with Dupart checking in, and there he is, number 21, coming out of the huddle. Flutie 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions. Let's see what he does here. Sun out here at Fulton County Stadium out of the shotgun. Stepping up, and there's a knockdown. Getting up and knocking the ball down was Malcolm Taylor, a defensive end from Tennessee State. Flutie did not have a ball batted down at all last week, but the week before against Buffalo, he did.
Well, Malcolm Taylor is 6'6", 260 pounds. Take a look at it coming from the right part of your screen. The problem with Flutie is not that he's short, that he can't see his receivers downfield. The problem is that the offensive linemen have got to get into the defenders right at the line of scrimmage at their legs to force them to get their hands down, because someone as big as Taylor will knock the ball down away from a 5'9" Flutie a lot of times.
All right, Greg Davis, who kicked with the Falcons last year, now with the Patriots this year, a 52-yard field goal attempt with a lot of leg on it. It's good. And he waves a finger over at the Falcon bench to say, there, take that. 52-yard field goal by Davis, and the Patriots lead 3-0. We'll be back.
Marion Campbell, who's been in this league for a long time, told us in a meeting yesterday that he has never seen a talent in this league like Deion Sanders. Well, we asked Sanders about that quote, and this was his response. That's accurate. And that is primetime Deion Sanders. He knows he's good, and I tell you, he backs it up on the field, and I never mind that. If a guy's going to talk about how good he is, he comes out and plays, that's fine.
How about the 52-yard field goal by that guy, Greg Davis, as Davis was 3 for 4 last week. Sanders waving to the crowd as they announced that he was back deep for the kickoff. The Patriots lead 3-0. Primetime took one back against the Packers, 96 yards, but it was called back on a kickoff from his 2. And I would say the Patriots did a very nice job of covering that kick as he goes out to the 25-yard line, and that's where they unpack. Jim Bowman is down on the tackle for New England. Terrence Cooks is there too. Here comes Chris Miller into the Atlanta Falcons huddle.
Come back underneath there.
Checking to see if there's a flag on this kickoff return by Sanders. Jim Tunney, our referee.
Offside. Receiving team Atlanta is declined. First down, Atlanta.
Here's the Atlanta Falcons starting lineup. That's their quarterback, Ken, Clayton, Dukes, Freilich, and Houston Hoover at the right tackle. Miller is joined in the backfield by Lang, and now Flowers would settle out. A good-looking rookie at wide receiver. Collins, Haynes, and Heller's the tight end. Then in their hawk, their passing situation, Jones comes in, a rookie out of Illinois. Stacey Bailey, Michael Haynes, and Collins are the wide receivers. It's 1st and 10. That's Gene Lang in motion.
What I'm going to do.
Miller right back on 1st down. Fires, and it is caught. The tight end, Ron Heller, makes the catch. He is covered up by the safety, Roland James, who had a great week last week when he had 12 tackles, and Miller comes out firing on 1st down. The Patriots defense, the front 7, Sims, Gold, Williams. The linebacker, Johnny Rembert, now playing outside, had a great game against the Oilers. Reynolds, Brown, and McGrew. And in the dime situation, here's what happens. Gary Cheater will come in. McGrew goes to a down lineman, so they have 4 down linemen. Rice and Coleman, 2 rookies come in, and that's their secondary. Maurice Hurst had an interception last week, along with Eric Coleman. 1st and 10 as they get the 1st down on that pass play. Getting away from Sims is Miller. And he fires to Gene Lang, who high steps his way out of bounds at the 46-yard line, and Reynolds chases him out of bounds for the Patriots.
The Patriots can just about forget about the running attack for the Atlanta Falcons. They've had trouble running the football for their first 5 games, but now it's settled out. Real problems. Here, though, there's a blown coverage by the Patriot defense. Number 95, Ed Reynolds, has got to get out to get Lang. He does so late, and Lang gets enough yardage to set up a 2nd and short yardage situation for the Atlanta Falcons.
6 yards on the pass play. 2nd down and 4. Gene Lang now going down to the slot at the top of your screen. Michael Haynes and Sean Collins down at the bottom as they give it to Flowers. Flowers gets a nice run up to the midfield stripe, and then he is gang tackled by the Patriots. Tim Goad, the nose tackle, is in there. Reynolds comes in along with Johnny Rembert. As Flowers goes back into the huddle. Flowers getting in the lineup today. He's out of Clemson, 6 feet, 215 pounds.
And recovering from a severe knee injury that occurred a year ago. John Settle came in. Kenny Flowers was the guy, the 2nd-round choice they had thought they were going to use. He had the severe knee injury. And then Settle, a free agent, comes in and has an all-pro kind of a year.
That was backup quarterback Hugh Millen signaling the play. 3rd down, 1 from the midfield stripe. They're going to throw. Miller pointing out to a receiver, and boy, is he wide open. That's Gary Wilkins, the tight end, to the 20, down to the 15-yard line. Big play for the Falcons and a 1st down.
The Patriots seem to be confused defensively. They had a man-to-man situation. Look at the secondary. The linebackers are held with that run fake. Miller rolls out. We told you he was mobile. Rembert decides to go after the quarterback, but look at the middle of the field. Gary Wilkins, who really is only used on running situations, was into the contest, and maybe that's what confused the Patriots. They're waiting for that 3rd and short situation, and Miller takes it upfield. He'll do it all the time.
Lang out of the backfield on 1st down from the Patriots 15. Miller trying to get away. He does. Flowers can't hang on. The pass was low as Miller was escaping, and he drops it at the 13-yard line.
Now, these two teams don't meet very often. They did meet in the preseason this past year. But because they're in different conferences, obviously they don't see each other that often. This Atlanta Falcon team is a completely team that they have been in the past. They're not running the football with any success. It's people like Millen, as you see, running the plays into Chris Miller, and that quarterback, the young Miller, who's throwing it downfield using his tight ends, and now a group of young receivers. The Patriots have got to adjust and forget about that running attack.
2nd down and 10 off the incompletion. High formation in the backfield. Gene Lang, the fullback, now heads out as a wide receiver. They give it to Flowers. Runs right into the arms of a waiting Tim Goad. And he's helped out by Lawrence McGrew. So it will be 3rd down and long now for the Falcons. And they'll go into their hawk offense as they bring in that rookie out of Illinois that they're very high on, Keith Jones. Raymond Berry looking out there right now. His team's been hit defensively with a bit of a haymaker here, as all of the clippings about Chris Miller's arm are proving to be true here early.
He not only throws the football extremely well, but as Raymond Berry told us yesterday, Chris Miller can scramble with any one of them. He and Flutie have that same thing in common. You'd rather keep them in the pocket.
3rd down and 8. A lot of time for Miller. Into the end zone, and it's dropped. Right at the corner of the end zone. Eric Coleman is on the coverage. It might have been the rookie Sean Collins. No, it's Stacey Bailey. Stacey Bailey right at the corner of the end zone. Couldn't hang on. Not a badly thrown football, though.
This is one of the toughest routes for a receiver to run. Bottom of your screen, that's Stacey Bailey running man-to-man against Eric Coleman. A perfectly thrown ball, but it is Coleman who just gets his left hand in to track what Stacey Bailey was trying to get done, which is get his feet inbounds and catch the football at the same time.
So it lines up now as a field goal for Paul McFadden out of the hold of the quarterback Miller. McFadden has not kicked a field goal in the last 2 games, hasn't even attempted one. Spot at the 20-yard line, 30-yard attempt to try and tie the game. On its way, and it is good. And this football game is all tied up as both offenses move, but have to settle for field goals. It's 3-3 from Atlanta. Jim Donovan and Jimmy Cephalo back at Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium. A pair of field goals now in the game, one for each team, and we're tied. 3-3 as Sammy Martin and Rodney Rice ready to take it back for New England. A shorter kickoff this time, and Martin takes it at his 4. Martin still going, and it is Sammy Martin who is pretty prime time here early in this ball game as he carries out over the 25-yard line up near the 30. And here comes Flutie back into the lineup for his 2nd series. Around the NFL on week number 6, no score from Chicago. Jim Breach has kicked a field goal for the Bengals. Raul Alegre for the Giants. Dallas and San Francisco, no score. Eddie Murray, a field goal for the Lions. In Green Bay and Minnesota. And Herschel Walker expected to play in that one some today. In fact, on special teams, I think, Jimmy, I heard he's going to play some.
Yeah, I heard he's going to return some kicks, which is a bit surprising for someone that they've just given 12 players up to obtain.
From the 28-yard line, 1st down New England, 3-3. Theirs was a 52-yard field goal by Greg Davis as Cedric Jones comes down the line in motion. Here's Stevens. Good run by Stevens as he brings it out over the 30-yard line to the 34.
That might not look like much, but that's exactly what the Patriots want out of John Stevens. He just picked up 4.5, 5 yards. He'll do that to you time in and time again, and that's why he was an All-Pro last year. That sets up a pass or run situation for Doug Flutie, and you know, he could roll out of the pocket then and do what he wants. Take a look at it. Not a whole lot of a hole for him, but Paul Fairchild, number 66, gets a good block inside, and that allows Stevens to get 4 or 5 yards on it.
Actually 6. See, it didn't look like that much. Sneaky, isn't it? 2nd down and 4 at the 34-yard line. And they go right back to Stevens. And he'll pick up 2 more out over the 35 out to the 37-yard line. Ben Thomas is out of Auburn, but he was a 2nd-round draft choice by the New England Patriots. As a matter of fact, when the Patriots got blown out in the Super Bowl by the Chicago Bears, he had a sack in that game for New England.
He's bounced around just a little bit, but he was a number 2 draft choice, and the Patriots right now might want to have him back. They can certainly use the depth on that defensive line. He's played well since coming over to Atlanta.
Well, New England likes this situation, 3rd down and 1. Everybody likes this situation, especially with a back like Stevens. So let's see what Flutie does. From their own 37. Flutie might have gotten them to go offside as Stevens blows right through the right side of the line, and he's brought down by Tony Casillas, who also could have been the man that jumped off. Or are they saying that the Patriots went off? Let's check and see. Here's Jim Tunney. I think they're pointing like it's against New England.
Illegal motion, number 44, still 3rd down.
It's John Stevens who gets caught for it. Doug Flutie is one of the best in the league of changing his cadence, the way he calls his signals at the line of scrimmage. He gets a lot of opposing defenses to jump. The problem is he is so good at it that sometimes he gets his own people to jump. 44, take a look at it. John Stevens, does he move? He certainly does. And that's the penalty for the New England Patriots. Now, you might say, well, he only was going down to his stance, but because the receiver coming across the formation was also in motion, only one person can move, and that's the reason for the penalty.
All right, it's 3rd and 6. Flutie almost goes down. Stays up. And a sidearm one ends up as a short hop catch by Cedric Jones as the 40-yard line, but it's incomplete. But a good rush by Marcus Cotton got in on Flutie, but Flutie almost ended up on the seat of his pants.
Now, Marcus Cotton is the one who kept him from getting to the outside. Flutie makes the slip. There is some sod put down because when the Braves play here, it's a baseball stadium, obviously, and that's the reason for the slip. But Marcus Cotton is the one who forced him to throw when he didn't want to give it up just quite yet. Sets up a 4th down situation for the Patriots.
And Deion Sanders waits for the Jeff Feagles punt. Feagles averaging 38.6 yards. Good high punt. Fair catch called for by Sanders, and he lets it bounce over his head. This is going to end up as a great Feagles punt inside the 5, down at the 4-yard line, and how quickly the cheers turn to jeers.
Hey, Primetime turned into good night on that one. He has to come up and catch the football. A big problem by Primetime and a big rookie mistake. It shows you that even though you make a couple of $1 million, you can still be wrong on a football field.
64-yard punt for Jeff Feagles. Here's why.
Deion Sanders makes the mistake. You can do this as a punt returner at the 10-yard line. If it bounces behind you, that's the general rule in the NFL, because you can bet on it going into the end zone. Not when you're at the 30, Deion. You got to get the mathematics right, pal, because at the 30-yard line, this thing is just going to roll dead as it does inside the 5-yard line. Big mistake by the rookie.
I thought he might have lost it in the sun, but I think he knew where it was going. At the 4-yard line now. Flowers gets out to the 5, the 6-yard line, and then he's brought down by Johnny Rembert. And Kenneth Sims is in there, too, for New England, as the Patriots have Chris Miller and the Falcons pinned in now. A short gain of 3 yards, and it's 2nd down and 7.
And that takes away some of the passing capability of Miller. With a young quarterback, you don't want to set him into his own end zone, and force him to try to get out of the pocket. We've said it before, the Falcons' running attack is in shambles. Without Settle in there, they're in real trouble, so it's all on Chris Miller this afternoon.
But he has to be a bit choosy right now down in this territory. 3-3 your score. That's Jones coming out of the backfield in motion. Miller right in his end zone, fires for Sean Collins, and did he bring it down? Yes, he did, or did the Patriots pull it off for an interception? Claiborne says he has it.
And the officiating crew has not made a call on the field. Now
New
they
England
do.
ball. Raymond Claiborne up with the interception, as it was Collins and Claiborne going up for the football.
You can bet they'll be taking a look at this on the replay situation. Claiborne, the 13-year veteran, he's got double coverage. You see he has help deep from the safety. Cuts right in front. And does he come down with the football? Apparently he does, and gets both feet in. From this side of the replay, you really can't tell if Claiborne had possession, but you go with the call on the field. And so unless we can see something different from this replay, it will be Patriots ball.
Now, for a period, Jimmy, though, Collins has it right there.
Right.
Then loses it.
Exactly. Then he loses it. You can't tell from this angle, really, if Claiborne has the ball, although it appears that he does. That play will stand. The instant replay official shouldn't take that one away from the Patriots.
Well, he is going to get involved in the game, though. The instant replay official, Jack Fetty, is looking at it right now. That is the replay booth where Jack Fetty is looking over the situation. It's got a nice seat. So Miller tried to go to his favorite receiver, the rookie Collins out of Northern Arizona. And Raymond Claiborne comes up with a very shrewd play. It looked like Collins had the ball, but then Claiborne came in and stole the ball. But then, as Jimmy said, you notice that the feet came in. He tried to keep his feet in and did. He dragged his 2 feet.
Well, he plays his help. And the play will stand. The officials just announced. Good play by Raymond Claiborne. He has help from Marion, number 31. Claiborne has been around 13 years, and quarterbacks who come to the line of scrimmage who have been around for a long time still don't know if he's playing man or zone. He hides it very well, and that's how he confused Chris Miller.
Big turnover now. New England has great field position at the Atlanta 27. They go to Robert Perryman, who goes nowhere. The right side of the Falcon defense shuts it down. Mike Gann and Tony Casillas.
Jim, coming into this game, Chris Miller had just thrown 1 interception in 153 attempts. And so it is a a real play by Raymond Claiborne to take it away. He's a quarterback who will throw it away or run it downfield before he throws the interception.
There's Casillas, former #1 draft choice out of Oklahoma. So the Falcons defense has been tough against the run, and they face a tough runner today in John Stevens. 2nd down and 9, although Perryman ran the ball that time on 1st down. Flutie firing for Cedric Jones, and he was double covered there as Scott Case was on the coverage, and then Evan Cooper came over and got a lick on Jones down by the goal line.
I'd say Cedric Jones has to go back and have a talk with his good and close friend, Mr. Flutie. Because, you know, with this kind of a pattern, look at that safety sitting inside. You know what he's going to do? Well, let me tell you, if you're lucky enough to fit it in between, he's going to just knock you down, and that's exactly what Evan Cooper, #20, does. That's a dangerous play for a quarterback and an even more dangerous one for a wide receiver.
Scott Case, and there's Raymond Berry. 3rd down and long has been the way the Patriots have gone so far today. Flutie early connected on 2 3rd down and long conversions, but he's missed on his last 2. It's 3rd and 9 right now. Sets up in the pocket, fires, and Hartley Dykes, the rookie, makes the catch inside the 10-yard line. And they've been waiting for that to happen in New England. Dykes has been a bit of a slow comer for them, but he makes a nice catch there.
And you see the leadership of Flutie going right to Dykes to say, hey, good job, big guy. He doesn't have a great deal of speed, Dykes does not, but he's a very large target and does a good job of going up and taking it away from Deion Sanders. Rookie going against rookie there, a pair of first-rounders. This is a similar situation that happened before, only this time Flutie led the ball back to the outside, didn't lead him into the safety, and Dykes comes up with the catch.
1st and goal at the Atlanta 8-yard line. Here comes John Stevens. Stevens to the 5. Stevens gets inside the 5 to the 4 and then gets pushed back. Tim Green pushes him back as Stevens will pick up about 4 yards on the play. Around the NFL, the Bears jump out 7-0. Cincinnati and the Giants still holding on to a field goal lead in their games. And the other scores, Detroit leading over Tampa Bay, and Green Bay jumps out on a Herman Fontenot 1-yard touchdown run, leading the Vikings 7-0. And the pressure has to be on in Minnesota to win instantly now with Herschel on that team. 3-3 here. Jim Donovan and Jimmy Cefalo. From sunny Atlanta, it started out rainy Atlanta this morning. 2nd down and goal inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. Perryman and Stevens. They go back to Stevens. Stevens hits at the 3. 1 yard, and that's it. Tuggle was in there along with Rady, and that man, 75, Tony Casillas. Short game.
Take a look at Tony Casillas. He's playing against #68, Mike Babb, the center for the Patriots. Actually, he's shaded just to the right side against Sean Farrell, 62. But he uses his hands so well, pushing everybody away, and then has enough bulk to take on Stevens at the line of scrimmage and stop him for very little gain.
All right, the Patriots were going to get hit with a delay of game. They couldn't decide on what play they wanted to run. So Doug Flutie does the smart thing, and he calls a timeout. And we will, too, and see what they do on 3rd and goal in a 3-3 game when we come back. That's coming up next. 3-3, but New England has 3rd and goal at the Atlanta 3, and they go with 4 wide receivers and a shotgun and Reggie Dupart in the backfield. Now Flutie checks off and comes underneath center. He was in the grasp of the oncoming pass rusher and spotted the ball back at the 11 or 16-yard line. Big rush by Scott Case, who was blitzing on the play.
Let's take a look at it. Flutie changes his mind about going to the shotgun because of the noise here. Steps under center and is affected. It's Case who comes on the blitz and also Green. Case coming from the middle of your screen on the blitz, straight up the middle. No one picks him up. Dupart, #21, gets a shot at somebody and slows him up. But it's Scott Case, the cornerback, for the Falcons decide to blitz, and he comes up with Flutie. They'll set up a longer field goal situation.
Spotted at the 22, making a 32-yard field goal attempt by Davis, who is 1 for 1 on the day from 52, and now you can add that one. Another field goal by Davis, but Atlanta has to feel lucky that they didn't give up even more after the interception. So it is 6-3. Jimmy, that play didn't look good from the time the Patriots came up to the line of scrimmage. Actually, from the time they called the timeout, they still couldn't decide what they wanted to do, whether or not they wanted to go with a power running formation or go with the 4 wideouts.
Yeah, well, remember, the Patriots do their offense a bit by committee. They don't have an offensive coordinator. If they want a running play call, they go to Bobby Greer, who's the running back coach. If they want a passing play call, they ask Richard Wood, the quarterback coach, what he wants to call. And so it's Flutie, it's Richard Wood, it's Bobby Greer, it's Raymond Berry, it's Steve Grogan, and the whole group decides what's the best play to call. It cost them a timeout there, and it also seemed that they were a bit unsure when they got onto the football field about what they wanted to get done on 3rd and goal.
Well, Hartley Dykes, the rookie there, 88, was beaming over his catch. Deion Sanders got picked on a couple of times. There's Hartley Dykes. Incidentally, he's a great baseball pitcher. In fact, is in the Chicago White Sox chain. A left-handed pitcher. The way he started off, it looked as though baseball might be the way to go. Well, let's not give up on him too early.
He only played 1 season at Oklahoma State. He was a pitcher. He had a 5.43 ERA, but the White Sox are going to take a shot at him. Deion Sanders on the other side, as a baseball player, has already been with the big team, the New York Yankees. And so we have not only 2 good football players going against each other, but 2 who think they might have futures in baseball as well.
Deion Sanders is not going to take this one back. Instead, it is Keith Jones from a yard deep in his own end zone. He's a rookie, too. And he brings it out near the 25-yard line. Darrell Holmes is in on the tackle for New England, and Chris Miller is getting final instruction from Rod Dahauer over there on the Atlanta bench as to what they're going to do. His last outing was not a good one as he threw an interception picked off by the very crafty Raymond Claiborne. New England secondary started to come around last week, and you know, they're going with so many young players. Maybe those young players are starting to get the feel of things now.
Well, they've got 3 rookies back there: Maurice Hurst, Rodney Rice, and Eric Coleman, all rookies, and people like Marion Campbell have been picking on them previously, but now they seem to be beginning to gel. They're not rookies anymore after the 6th game.
1:09 left here in the first quarter, 6-3. They give the ball off, and it goes to Gene Lang, and the ex-Denver Bronco, who has now found a home here in Atlanta, brings it up near the 30-yard line to the 29. Tackled on the play by Brent Williams.
Miller presents another problem to this Patriots secondary. The Patriots play about, as we take a look at the ticker, about 75% man-to-man. Chicago with that 7-0 lead, and Cincinnati and the Giants maintain their 3-point margin.
Detroit leading over Tampa Bay. Green Bay. Now San Francisco's on the board over Dallas, 7-0. Cowboys still without a win. 2nd and 6 after a 4-yard gain. And another short gain. This time it's Kenny Flowers. And Flowers gets stacked up. Kenneth Sims is down there on the tackle for the Patriots. Ed Reynolds was there too, along with Brent Williams.
And the pressure goes back on the Miller's shoulder now with the 3rd and about 7 yards to go. What I was saying before, 75% man-to-man the Patriots run, as they'll let it just go down to the end of the first quarter. And if he gets out of the pocket, as good as a runner as he is, when there's man-to-man coverage, it opens up a huge gap for a quarterback who can run.
So that's the end of the first quarter here from Atlanta. Nothing but field goals so far, and the Patriots lead after 1, 6-3.
The Patriots playing the Falcons dead even, at least as total yards are concerned in this first quarter, 68 yards apiece. The glaring stat right there is the fact the Falcons only have 11 yards rushing in this first quarter. That means the Patriots can double up on the passing attack and try to take Chris Miller out of this offense.
Miller's in a 3rd down and long right now. 3rd down, 7. Patriots coming with the rush. Sims forces him to throw it away. Kenneth Sims. When the Patriots do go to 4 down linemen, Sims goes to a position that he loved in college, defensive tackle, and that has helped him get to the quarterback. Yeah, they move him inside. He plays better because he's got great strength. He doesn't have to worry about the tackle coming out on him. Take a look at it. 99 Jeter also gets some pressure, but it is Kenneth Sims who beats the tackle over and gets in to make the tackle on Miller. That's the problem. If you can't get a rushing attack going at all, they're going to come after the quarterback, put their ears back, and just get after him, and that's what Sims did. That's a good number, 4th in the NFL against 3rd down. Sammy Martin has been great on kickoff returns and almost popped a punt return last week against Houston. Fulhag punts it away. Martin gets a low kick to handle. And a pretty pretty good tackle right there. Is coming down to get him was Elbert Shelley, who dragged him down by the shirt. If he doesn't get him, Martin was just about ready to make that cut and explode.
He was getting over to the wall. Raymond Berry told us just the other day that Sammy Martin's the best kept secret in the NFL as far as punt returns and kickoff returns are concerned. He can get downfield with it. It's a good play by Shelley and the rest of that team.
Now, Raymond went on to say that Sammy Martin has those ball-bearing joints. What do you think that means, Jim?
Well, he's got those quick swivel hips. All defenders, when they come down, they make the mistake of looking at a player's hips. He can move them. He can't move his number. So good defensive coaches will tell you, forget about Martin's hips. Don't look at that. Just look at his number. He can't move the middle of his body, and that's will stay constant.
Flutie up on first down. Stanley Morgan makes the catch out by midfield and is brought down there, dragged back. And I'll tell you what, Flutie and the Patriots are going right after Mr. Primetime Deion Sanders, who is getting a rude welcome to the defensive secondary in his first game as a starter.
Especially going against Stanley Morgan. There's the veteran for you. But you see, Primetime's looking back into the backfield just a little bit too much. And Morgan does the good job of pushing him up the field and cutting back in front. Now, later on in the game, if Sanders thinks he's going to step in front of one of those passes, people like Stanley Morgan will give him a step and head downfield. And if they catch the right play, it could be six for the Patriots.
16-yard pass play gets them out of midfield. First down, Cedric Jones in motion. Just started second quarter. Here's Robert Perryman trying to get away from Tim Green. No, sir, as he's thrown into the Atlanta bench. Green has had a good game so far as he embraces with Andre Bruce. They were really the guys that the Falcons have tried to build their pass rush with.
Well, Green and Marcus Cotton, they can all get after the quarterback, but here, Green does the good job of coming down the line and preventing the running back from getting outside. He could play two positions, a good stand-up outside linebacker. They like to put him down as an outside rushing defensive end. He was a good choice for them a couple of years ago.
Out of Syracuse, second down and 11 as Perryman loses one on the good play by Green. Flutie on a quick count. Across the middle again, and this one's caught by Cedric Jones with running room. To the 20, and out of bounds at the 16-yard line, chased out by Deion Sanders again. First it was Morgan, and now it's Cedric Jones.
Cedric Jones, the leading receiver for Doug Flutie, one of his best friends on the team, coming across the middle, beating the defensive back right across, who takes a diving angle at it. That was Bobby Butler, number 23. Now, trying to outrun Deion Sanders is virtually an impossibility in this league. Cedric Jones knows that and goes out of bounds. How fast is Mr. Sanders? He runs a 4.240, and that by far is the fastest on this team, and perhaps the fastest in the NFL.
They put Sanders on Sammy Martin this time at the bottom of your screen. That was a 36-yard pass play. Stevens sweeping to the outside, waiting for Lynn Dawson, the tight end, to make his block. But the Falcons interrupted the play, threw a lot of traffic in front of it, and he gets down to the 15 and a gain of 1. There's Green again, 99. He's been everywhere today, and Mike Gann is over there, too.
This is a team that is 1-4, the Falcons are, but they are probably the best 1-4 team in football. When we mentioned that to Marion Campbell yesterday, I said, "Are you the best 1-4 team in football?" He said, "Well,
who are the others?"
Yeah, who else is 1-4? We had to ensure them that they've played very well. They've played the Rams tough twice. They had Indianapolis. They were leading in the late in the third quarter. They had the Packers beat late in the third quarter, and they've let a couple slip away. Marion Campbell's doing a good job of building a very young team.
This has been a problem spot for the Patriots when they've gotten inside the opposition's 20, scoring. Second and 9. Perryman will only get one more, so they're just nibbling off yardage here as Stevens got 1 yard. And now Perryman gets 1 yard, too. Let's go around the NFL on Sunday, number 6, as we watch Tony Casillas unstack after making the tackle. Mike Tomczak hit Neil Anderson for a touchdown. Boomer Esiason has thrown a touchdown pass. In that game, it's 10-0 Bengals. And the Allegre field goal standing up for the Giants over Washington. Steve Young has a touchdown pass as he starts today in way of Joe Montana. Detroit and Green Bay leaders, too. And the Patriots now leading 6-3 at third down and 8 at the Atlanta 14-yard line. Cedric Jones, and a fine play is coming in to knock the ball away was Charles Dimry. Jones was ready to take it and go from the 5-yard line.
The Falcons sent Scott Case again. They blitzed him one more time and relied on Charles Dimray to take it man-to-man coverage. Take a look at it. They sent a couple of people in front. Albercelli also gets in after it. So does Scott Case. And it is a good play on the part of Dimray because he just gets a hand. And if not, that is a 6-point touchdown for Flutie and the Patriot offense.
So we go to Davis again. He's hit from 52 and 32, and he'll get another crack from that distance. Out of the hold of Mark Wilson. Patriots dress 4 quarterbacks. Wilson holds. That's his only job. They say he's one of the best in the NFL doing it. He's a very expensive holder, but the field goal is good. Davis scored all of New England's points as they lead 9-3. The property of the National Football League, New England Patriots and Atlanta Falcons, all rights reserved. Greg Davis has been the man for the Patriots' 3 field goals, and he kicks it away into the corner of the end zone. A little indecision there by Jones. Let's see if it hurts him. 15, struggles to get out to the 18-yard line. Marv Cook almost had him back at the 10, but he slipped out of that tackle, and then Jim Bowman brings him down, along with Darrell Holmes. You know, one thing, Jimmy, New England got the 3 field goals, but they haven't been able to get the touchdowns.
Well, they continue to get conservative when they get inside the 20-yard line. That has been a problem the Patriots have had in the past. And, you know, Flutie, they've been running the football, throwing the very little short pass patterns, and they've gotten very conservative inside what is known as a green zone, 20 yards in, the money area. If you ask people like Doug Flutie, whose numbers aren't so bad for only a quarter and a half here today, he'd rather throw the football down into the end zone.
So it's 1st and 10 for Chris Miller. He's thrown an interception here this afternoon, and he fires this time across the middle. He's got a man wide open. And it's the catch made by Keith Jones, and the rookie darts out over the 35 to the 36-yard line on a 1st down for Atlanta.
They like Keith Jones because he can do a couple of things well. He runs well with the football, blocks with it, and catches it. Look at his hands here. This is a tough play to catch. In between 2 defenders, all hands, doesn't use the body. And one thing Marion Campbell told us about Keith Jones, he says he finishes every play heading upfield, going north, going up the field. A lot of players will be pointing sideways or backwards. Never Keith Jones. He'll run over somebody. He's always pointing upfield.
Nice throw by Miller. 18-yard pickup. 1st and 10. At their own 35-yard line. Patriots coming on a blitz. Here they come, and oh, boy, do they get Miller. Lawrence McGrew from one side and Johnny Rembert from the other side make a Chris Miller sandwich.
Well, this is the problem when you don't have a running attack. They went man-to-man in the secondary, as we said. 52 Rembert, usually an inside linebacker. This time coming from the outside. A running back picks up the inside backer, but there it is, the sandwich. McGrew, number 50 from one side. Rembert from the other side, number 52. And if the Falcons cannot get some kind of a running attack going, that kind of play is going to be an often occurrence here in Atlanta this afternoon.
10-yard loss makes it 2nd down at 20. Johnny Rembert has played very well since going to the outside linebacker spot. Lines up now like a defensive lineman. Here he comes again. A screen pass set up, but Rembert getting in there so quickly forced Miller to throw the ball before the screen was set up to Kenny Flowers.
Well, this is a psychological play. Rembert beats somebody on the previous play, gets right to the quarterback. This time they say, all right, we'll show Mr. Rembert. We'll run the screen on him. Let him in. Only the fact of the matter is you got to hold him up long enough for the quarterback to get a little bit of time, for the running back to slip outside. You see there, he has no time at all. 78 Mike Kent has got to keep a hand on him for just a second to allow the running back to slip outside and for Miller to see the back downfield. That's the problem with it. Rembert is beating the lineman up with the Atlanta Falcons.
3rd down and a bundle. 3rd and 19, they call it, from the 26. Pretty good rush again. Throws underneath. Ball is caught. And the catch made by Michael Haynes, and Haynes brings it out over the 35-yard line, up near the 38, short of the 1st down, and Atlanta must punt. Good defensive series for the Patriots. Michael Haynes walking off. He's been injured. He got hit on the shoulder last week against the Rams and has been very sore. As a matter of fact, was sore at the start of this game, and we expected to see more of Floyd Dixon. Fulhag has had 1 punt on the day. That came in the last series, and Sammy Martin is ready to take it back. 9:50 left to go in the half. 9-3 New England. Punt. Martin over the shoulder. Fumbles the ball at the 15-yard line, but he was out of bounds. Coverage yards on the play by Tim Gordon, but what really got the job done was the good punt by Fulhag because he made Martin chase it. Flutie will try and get his Patriots into the end zone when we come back. Jim Donovan and Jimmy Cephalo, and those are the numbers. 3 Greg Davis field goals for the Patriots, a Paul McFadden field goal for Atlanta, and that's it so far. New England starts at their own 16. Sun has gone in now, and Jimmy and I had just covered up with that sunblock 21 just prior to this commercial break. 1st and 10, New England. Cedric Jones to the top of your screen in motion. Bootleg fake by Flutie. Running out of time, and he almost threw the ball away into the hands of Tim Gordon. Perryman was over there, the intended receiver. The rush was being made by the defensive end, Mike Gann, but Gordon almost ended up with the football as Flutie kept waving and waving. And
well, he only had 2 receivers downfield. It almost looked like a naked leg coming outside. Not a lot of offensive linemen in front of him. Take a look at it. He breaks containment, gets to the outside. Gann gets caught inside. But then he only has 2 receivers downfield. And when Gann breaks loose, he doesn't have a lot of options. His tight end was covered, and his downfield receiver was as well. He nearly throws the interception. Bad decision by Doug Flutie.
2nd down and 10, and the crowd starts to get into it a bit as the Falcon defenders wave them on. Straight back, that ball got batted and is up for grabs and almost caught by New England's Sammy Martin. Malcolm Taylor, for the 2nd time this afternoon, gets a hand in front of a Doug Flutie pass. Dimry was on the coverage, but really, I think on replay it will bear out that Martin almost ended up with the football. He had position to make the catch. There's Taylor.
Again, Taylor's 6'6" tall, getting his hands up into the air. Number 67, left hand to your screen. The offensive lineman in front has got to get into his legs. That'll force his hands down, and it will take away the problem of Flutie's size standing back there in the pocket.
From the New England bench, excuse me, some bad news. Stanley Morgan has a hamstring problem, and we don't know if he'll be back. 3rd down and 10. From their own 16. Up high and over the head of Sammy Martin into the Falcon bench. Bring it out for the Patriots offense, and they will call now on Jeff Feagles, who has a 64-yarder today, to punt this one away as Deion Sanders will wait, and Doug Flutie with the helmet off over to the New England bench. You surprised they threw 3 times deep in their own territory?
A little bit. I would think that deep in their own territory, they would try to use Stevens to get the ball out as they have in the past in that 1st down situation, try to get 6 or 7 yards as they've been able to do the past 2 games. They didn't do it, though.
Feagles is at his own 1. Sanders waiting back at his own 35. He's not going to let anyone sail one over his head this time. He bounces, takes a Falcon bounce too, and hits it about midfield, and Atlanta has very good field position. So we'll see what the Falcons do with that when we return. We have 9:10 left to go here in the 1st half. Warren Moon has fired a touchdown pass to Drew Hill, and the Oilers lead in Chicago. Cincinnati, their lead cut into by a Pete Stoyanovich field goal from Miami. The Giants have led since the get-go there, 3-0. Other games, San Francisco over Dallas. Tampa Bay's Ricky Reynolds picked off a pass and went 68 yards with it for a touchdown. And Minnesota jumps on top of Green Bay on a Rick Fenny touchdown.
This is the 2nd week in a row that Herschel Walker's played against the Green Bay Packers. I wonder if that was part of the contract deal. Not a bad one, huh?
Play against the Packers every week. Atlanta with their best field position at the 49. And they give it off to Jones. And Keith Jones gets 1 as New England is playing the Falcons run very well. Tim Goad, 72, the nose tackle. Gets a little headbutt after making the play from Brent Williams. 2nd down and 10. No gain on that play. Stanley Morgan, a right hamstring pull from the Patriots bench. Not expected to return for the day. Miller walking up to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. They're inside Patriot territory at the 49-yard line. Firing, and it's dropped. Michael Haynes cannot hang on at the New England 45-yard line. And again, the Patriots had a pretty good push into Miller.
Brent Williams, number 96. did a good job against Mike Ken, number 78. Let's try to take a look at it and find out what happened to Miller. This is the pass downfield. Actually, Miller being pressured. 81, Michael Haynes coming across the middle. Now let's take a look at what happened to the quarterback situation. Brent Williams, number 96, getting a good push inside. He's actually beaten Stan Clayton, number 74, to the ball, and that forces Miller to get rid of it a little quicker than he wanted to.
Third down and 10. One back in the backfield. That's Gene Lang, kept in to help block. Throwing across the middle. They've got Jones. 10, 5, dives just shy of the end zone at the 3.
At it, Keith Jones, number 38, lines up in the slot to the left part of your screen. Remember, in the middle, 52 didn't get back far enough. It's man-to-man coverage downfield. Rice, the rookie, is beaten. And if it not for Marion coming over and making the tackle, then Jones get into the end zone. Got a happy Chris Miller making the right coverage, finding the man-to-man with the rookie, Rice, and beating it.
46-yard pass play, first and goal from the 3, and they are threatening to take the lead. To the 2, to the 1, and he can't bang in. Vincent Brown got his helmet on the numbers of Gene Lang and knocked him down at the 1-yard line, and it will be second down and goal. There's Brown making his second start. His first one, he got an A all across the board. He played well.
Well, Vincent Brown is someone that when you get to him at the goal line, he does not back up. He's one of the strongest, toughest linebackers the Patriots have had in a long time. And they're really surprised that they weren't able to fit him into the lineup prior to this. But now with a couple of injuries, he's getting a shot.
Inside the 1-yard line, second and goal. Miller going to bootleg it, steps up and gets drilled by Lawrence McGrew. Now, what are the Falcons trying to do running that kind of play from inside the 1-yard line?
Well, last week against the Rams, they tried 3 downs to try to get in it with Settle. It didn't work. You know who makes this play go? Johnny Remper, because he beats the lineman Clayton to the outside, forces Miller back in. If Miller gets outside of the pocket, he's got the run-pass option. There it is. Remper beating Clayton across, and that forces him back into the pocket where the Bills can pop up on it. The reason they're throwing the football, lost confidence in the running game. A week ago, they had 4 downs, 4 shots to get it in. They couldn't do it against the Rams.
Third down and goal from the 8. Across the middle, touchdown, but there's a flag. Sean Collins, the rookie, has the score, but there is a flag down. The Patriots are saying it's going against Atlanta. And it is. Wipe it off the board.
Offense, number 38, still third down.
It's on the rookie, Jones.
Right side of your screen, number 38. You see him there in the slot, hands on his thighs. If he pushes off, that's what the officials are going to rule. And it's tough to tell from that angle, but actually what he did, he kind of set a screen more than anything else, not allowing the defender, number 38, Roland James, to get over and cover the wide receiver. That's how Keith Jones got caught. He's got to do a better job of picking.
Now look at where they are, back near their 19-yard line. Remember, they were inside the 1. Third and goal. Miller across the middle. Floyd Dixon makes the catch, but he's brought down inside the 15-yard line at the 12. And the fans in Atlanta are steaming, and that is a frustrated Chris Miller.
Well, the reason they're frustrated, the reason they're booing is because when you've got third and goal from, the 20-yard line, you throw it one of 2 places, into the end zone or out of the end zone. You don't throw it at the 15-yard line, let him get him tackled. I mean, the Patriots just sat back in his zone and dared him to throw it underneath, and that's exactly what Miller did.
In a game that has nothing but field goals up on the scoreboard, Paul McFadden will try and add to that. We've had 4. The Patriots have 3 of those. McFadden has 1 for Atlanta. 9-3 New England. The spot at the 20. A 30-yard attempt is up, and it is good. But they are not happy here at Fulton County Stadium as McFadden kicks it through, and it It's now a 9-6 game. New England's lead is down to 3. Coming up at halftime, we'll have scores and highlights. Bob Costas and O.J. Simpson. And then the Steve Corson interview will be coming up at halftime, too, with Gail Gardner. Let's go around the league right now and check in on the other games. On Sunday, number 6, Houston maintaining a 3-point lead. The Bengals lead by 7 over the Dolphins. And Washington has tied that game up now with the Giants at 3-3. Detroit on the board 7-3 now, trailing Tampa Bay. What do you think? Tampa Bay, one of the best kept secrets right now in the NFL?
Well, Testaverde had started to play a little bit better, not throwing the interception. He was nicked a bit last week, but you've got to give a lot of credit to Perkins. He's really turned that team around in a short period of time.
And they lead over the Lions. New England leading here 9-6 on the strength of 3 Greg Davis field goals. The Falcons with 2 field goals. Both teams have had ample opportunities to get into the end zone, but they haven't been able to get there. The Falcons got there once, but it was called back. A reminder to our viewers, we'll be selecting the Budweiser Most Valuable Player for today's game at the conclusion of the game. Rodney Rice and Sammy Martin back deep. Martin will take it. Martin gets loose. Over the 30, out to the 34-yard line, and he is brought down by Tim Gordon as Sammy Martin continues to impress in the return game. Doug Flutie gets the final words of instruction from the New England committee over there on the sideline and comes out into the huddle. 5:17 left to go here in the first half. A great defensive stand by New England. The big play, the sack by Lawrence McGrew, helped out by Johnny Rembert when Miller tried to pass on 2nd and goal from inside the 1 and was sacked. The ball out near the 35-yard line of New England, first down. Cedric Jones comes in motion. They give it to John Stevens. He's got some blocking out in front of him. He jumps out to the 40-yard line. He had Paul Fairchild and Sean Farrell leading the way for him. The tackle was made by Jesse Tuggle.
He also had Hartley Dykes, number 88, the rookie wide receiver, coming inside to try and block. Irving Fryer, the injured knee, not playing today, and that's one of the things that Stevens and this offense misses, not just Fryer's passing ability. He's also the best blocking wide receiver in football. On that play, Hartley Dykes misses the block on the inside, and the play gets 5 yards. When had Fryer been in and made the block, it might have gotten 8 or 9.
Now, the rookie Hartley Dykes is at the top of your screen. He'll get more playing time today with the injury to Stanley Morgan, as Stevens is stopped after a short game on 2nd down and 4. He gets out to the 42-yard line, brought down by Ben Thomas.
Actually, Flutie is going right now because of the injury to Morgan and to Fryer without his 2 starting wide receivers. However, Cedric Jones has been his favorite target of the past couple of weeks and has played extremely well.
Well, what kind of game plan have they been able to establish here today? I mean, what do you see here?
Well, they've been running the football just as it did last week against the Oilers. When they had to, they've been doing some things well. Flutie has thrown the ball much better today than he has in the past couple of weeks. Raymond Berry told us that, he's getting every repetition in practice. He's throwing the ball better than he had been, and he proved it out there today.
We have a timeout on the field right now. It appears as though the Falcons called that timeout, and that's their 2nd timeout that they have used, as Rady comes over to talk to Marion Campbell. Coming up at halftime, once again, Bob Costas, O.J. Simpson, scores and highlights from around the league on Sunday, number 6. And the Steve Corson interview, Gail Gardner handling that. That's at halftime.
A year ago, Flutie complained of a sore arm, and it might be able to be traced back to his poor footwork. Flutie throws the ball flat-footed a lot. He doesn't get his feet set, so he's using his arm completely. And when you throw a football, a lot of your power comes from the proper positioning of your legs. They brought Richard Wood in as the quarterback coach, and he has helped out quite a bit, trying to get Flutie to set his legs. And this year, at least, as Flutie told us last week, his arm is not as tired or as sore as it was a year ago.
All right, now there's the committee. Now, Richard Wood, Bobby Greer, and and Raymond Berry was in the background there. That's Bobby Greer. In front of him, that's all of their running plays that he's holding on to. Raymond Berry in the middle, and on the other side of Raymond is Richard Wood, and he has all of their passing plays. Here's Richard. See, he's got the white sheet up to his mouth. He's got the passing plays. It's 3rd down and 1 with 4 minutes to go here in the first half, and New England leading 9-6. Well, they'll pass on 3rd and 1. Flutie to Hartley. Dykes incomplete. Good coverage by Bobby Butler, who lost his starting job. One Florida State guy to another Florida State guy. He lost it to the rookie primetime Sanders. Interesting call on 3rd and 1.
Yeah, and a bit of a surprise because, as we know, Raymond Berry is generally a conservative coach, but they spread things out. You see, he's got man-to-man coverage. Dykes going against Butler, and he doesn't beat him across the middle of the field. He allowed Butler to flow across the field with him. The way a receiver stops that is by forcing a defensive back to respect the outside cut. It's a mistake, a rookie mistake, and once again, Dykes is not doing the job he thought he would do as a first-round draft choice.
Sanders waits for the Feagles punt. He only got a 33-yarder his last time. There's a flag down. Remember, if Atlanta jumped off, that would give the Patriots a first down. The ball hits inside the 30-yard line of Atlanta, out at the 28-yard line, and we'll check the call from Jim Tunney. They only needed 1 yard. Did they release too fast, or is it offside Atlanta? It is, and New England's offense can come back out onto the field. Now that has got to just irritate that man to no end.
To no end. That's the second big penalty this afternoon that's really cost him. The one on Keith Jones pushing off down when the touchdown was scored and takes it off the board. And now here, this will give the Patriots
5 yards, makes the distance for a first down.
A first down, as we hear from Mr. Tunney.
27 years of experience, but penalties like that, they never get easier to take.
Well, 27 years of experience in the NFL, and he says he's never seen a talent like Deion Sanders. What does that tell you about Sanders?
Well, that's accurate.
That's accurate. That's right. Just ask him, huh?
1st and 10. Flutie gets a reprieve now. Pump fakes, and he's looking long for Cedric Jones. It's batted up in the air. Sanders intercepts, but out of bounds. And then kind of bangs the ball up into the seats.
Remember I told you earlier that Sanders was going to eventually bite on one of those quick outs? Flutie and the receiver set that up. They faked the quick out, and then he took off down the field, but Sanders didn't bite on it. Flutie has been underthrowing a lot of these deep balls, and from reading some of the articles in the Patriots area, the New England area, he says he's doing it on purpose. Saying that he's trying to give his receivers an opportunity to come back and catch the football if he's stride for stride with the defensive back. I don't always buy that. Don't always buy that underthrow theory by a quarterback.
2nd and 10 off the long incompletion. 3:41 left here in the first half. Sammy Martin comes in motion, and the pitch goes to Reggie Dupart. Dupart had trouble with his footing and will be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage as Scott Case comes up from the corner to make the tackle, helped out by Tim Green. So it's 3rd down and long once again for that man.
Take a look at it. Dupart in there. Good block by Perriman on the outside. However, that you got to be very happy if you're a Falcon fan looking at Green. He's keeping everything to the outside, forcing the running back to get to the sideline and not allowing him to turn the corner. That's a good defensive front, and Tim Green playing one of the best games I've seen by a defensive end or linebacker in this league this year.
It's 3rd and 10. They've got extra blocking help in the backfield. Eric Sievers was back there with Flutie. He's throwing for Sammy Martin, who is open, and he hangs on to the ball at the 18-yard line. It was underthrown, but Martin hung in there and made a fine catch.
This is enough to give a wide receiver a lot of things, not just gray hair, maybe a little baldness, and surely a lot of injury. I mean, this thing floats in the air in between the quarterback and the safety. It takes forever to come down. But Flutie, you got to say this for him, he is accurate, but take a look at the receiver. Sammy Martin takes a fistful from the defensive back coming over. I think that was Tim Gordon trying to get to it.
34-yard pass play for Sammy Martin. Coverage was by Charles Dimry. There he is on the Atlanta bench. The ball is inside the 20 at the 18. 1st and 10 Patriots. Stevens. They get to to the corner. Case chases him out of bounds near the 15 as they had kind of like a hand battle there going out of bounds. Stevens trying to give him the stiff arm. So he might have gotten 3 on the play, making it 2nd down and 7 with 2:42 left to go here in the first half. Chicago's gone ahead of Houston now in a back-and-forth game, 14-10. The other games are still tied. Jimmy Cefalo almost just hit with a peanut shell here from the upper deck. You okay?
I think it was a low-flying bird, as a matter of fact. That was close.
Tampa Bay ahead of Detroit, 10-3. New England, Atlanta, 9-6. You're right, it was a bird. From the 15-yard line, 2nd down and 7. Cedric Jones in motion for New England. He dumps it over the middle. Jones has got a corner to the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots.
Find out what happened to this Falcons secondary. There's Jones coming inside. See, they send the tight end through the middle. Someone makes the mistake of not getting back off into the middle of the field, and eventually it's Deion Sanders who comes to try to help out. What the Patriots do, though, they send the tight end straight down the field. Take a look at it. And then they sneak the wide receiver back into the middle. He was surprised because someone's supposed to be in the middle to try and pick him up. It's Deion Sanders who comes over eventually, and Scott Case, but not before Jones gets the score.
Number 41, Tim Gordon, was blitzing on the play from his safety spot. Let's see if they are going to check this and see if Jones got in.
Stands is a touchdown.
Yeah, they were checking it. Jack Fetty took a look at it and said that Jones was indeed across and in for the touchdown. Davis for the extra point, and our first touchdown of the afternoon. And a good read by Doug Flutie. Kick is up, and it is no good. Davis misses the extra point. After he was having a fabulous day kicking field goals, he's 3 for 3. He misses an extra point. And New England leads 15-6 with 2:35 remaining here in the first half.
And that could eventually become a big play, the 9-point spread instead of the 10-point one. Davis is an interesting story. He was having a bit of a rough year earlier on. He sat down with Raymond Berry. Raymond Berry said to him, "You're going through some of the same things I went through when I was a player. In my second year as a player, I had some misgivings about my performance. You've got to take it and get some confidence because you're a good kicker." And he's come out and played much better since that conversation with Raymond Berry. It gives you a little bit of insight as to what kind of a coach Berry is. Very low-key, but this team loves him. I mean, player after player, they just love Raymond Berry.
So we have just over 2 minutes left in our first half. At halftime, all the scores and highlights with Bob and O.J. back in New York. At a halftime feature, Gail Gardner interviews Steve Corson. It's 15-6 here in the first half. As Davis will kick it away from the Atlanta area. His mom is in attendance here today. His brother is an Atlanta policeman. Deion Sanders is back deep. Now, he had started out the game returning kickoffs, then went away from that and is now back. Short kickoff by Davis. Sanders takes it at his 10. Here he comes. There he goes. To the 40, and finally dragged down by Maurice Hurst.
There are very few people in football who can get this accomplished. There's no hole here. I mean, the Falcon front people don't give him much to work with. This is all Deion Sanders. Not just his reading ability, but watch him outrun one of the defenders down the sideline. Right there. And then again to the sideline. Maurice Hurst trying to run him down, and eventually does, but it is the great speed of Deion Sanders that allows him to be the best kickoff return man in this league in a long time.
66-yard return by Sanders, and the love affair with the Atlanta fans is back on. Remember, they booed him earlier after he misjudged a punt. Gene Lang started outside and went inside 25 to the 24-yard line, tackled by Kenneth Sims. And Sims is getting up slowly. a touchdown waiting to happen every time he touches the ball, and he almost did it there. What did Deion think of that? That's accurate. 2 minutes to go in the half. We'll be back. Prime time is on.
Deion Sanders is not only a very talented young man, a very confident one as well, as you probably know by now. A year ago, I was doing the Hula Bowl game, and he had a few interceptions, and we weren't exactly sure if he had 2 interceptions or 3 interceptions. So one of our production people said to him, Deion, do you have 2 or 3 this afternoon? He said, well, I've only got 2, but I'll go get you one. And with that, he ran onto the field and intercepted the next pass and came back off. Here's a guy who kind of like the Babe Ruth of the NFL, saying, I'll go get you one right now, and he does it.
A 60-yard kickoff return, and the Falcons have it second down at 3 with 2 timeouts remaining on their side of the ledger. Have the ball inside the New England 30-yard line, inside the 25-yard line at the 23. They trail by 9, 15-6. Split their tight end out wide now, Ron Heller. He's at the top of your screen, the second man in. Here's Miller. Draw play, Lang. Lang inside the 15, down at the Patriot 11-yard line. Gene Lang runs into Johnny Rembert, but not before he gets another first down and a good run.
We mentioned the fact that they split Heller out to the right side. The reason they did that is to spread the Patriot defense. You see how wide the gaps are in between the linemen there? They spread the tight end out and run the ball back to the inside. It gives better blocking angles for the offensive linemen. Good call by the Falcons.
So now they're up 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. That's Floyd Dixon speeding off in motion. The pitch. Lang hits inside the 10. And Tim Goad, the nose tackle, along with Roland James, over to make the tackle for New England. 1:13 left, and another timeout is called for on the field by Atlanta. Raymond Berry checks it over on the sideline. He leads by 9, but that's being challenged. 1:13 left here in the half. 1 timeout remaining for the Falcons. They have the ball inside the New England 10 at the 6. So what do, Jimmy?
Well, I think you throw it into the end zone twice. They've had trouble with their short running game. They do have another timeout remaining, and with 1:13, they have more than enough time to try and run the football. But with Chris Miller back there, I say you throw it into the end zone on 2 occasions. Rod Dowhower, there on the right with the white hair, standing next to Marion Campbell. He's the offensive coordinator. The decision will be his, but if it's my druthers, I throw it into the end zone twice.
From the 6-yard line, Gene Lang, the lone back in the backfield. Second down. They can get a first down at the Patriot 2. Miller to Heller, the tight end. He can't get in. Roland James got him by the collar and threw him out of bounds. They are close to a first down with 1:08 left in the half.
And this works perfectly. They only use up 5 seconds of it, and I think he does get enough for the first down. It appears that he does. And nice play, Heller. You remember the formation they were in earlier when they ran it back to the inside? Same formation. This time they throw it out to the corner, having the Patriots worry about that inside running game, and it works for Chris Miller. They do pick up the first down.
They bring in an extra tight end now, Gary Wilkins. He checks in along with Kenny Flowers. 1st and goal. Marion Campbell's team got into the end zone once, but it was brought back because of a penalty. 1st and goal from the New England 1. Up over the top. Touchdown! The rookie, Keith Jones.
This Falcon running attack handicapped because John Settle, the All-Pro, not in the lineup today. And who do they go to? They go to Keith Jones, the rookie, diving over the top. Remember we said he finishes off every play going straight ahead? He pushes the pile back just a little bit, finds a crack, and gets into the end zone. That has been a very sour point with the Falcons. They've been unsuccessful when they get in there. And before, remember when they had second in very short yardage, they elected to throw the football, get a penalty on it, don't come up with the touchdown. This time, Jones takes care of that.
15-12. McFadden will try and get them to within 2. And He does, and now that missed extra point by Davis does figure into the game. It's only a 2-point difference now at 15-13. There's McFadden over to the sideline. Once again, Bob and O.J. waiting back in New York to give you all the scores and highlights. Gail Gardner with a Steve Corson interview, halftime feature. And right here in Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium, the New England Patriots have seen their lead cut down to 2 at 15-13. This whole drive was set up by an electrifying kickoff return by primetime Deion Sanders of 60 yards that gave them fabulous field position deep in New England territory. There's Sanders. Saturday, join NBC for the final round coverage of the Walt Disney World Oldsmobile Classic. The beautiful and demanding courses of Walt Disney World will challenge some of the best pros on the tour, including two-time U.S. Open winner Curtis Strange, Fuzzy Zeller, Players Championship victor Tom Kite, and this year's leading money winner Payne Stewart. $800,000 up for grabs, just over a 9-iron away from the Magic Kingdom. Jimmy, that's coming your way next Saturday right here on NBC. Easy for you to say a 9-iron. Right?
It depends on how hard you can hit a 9-iron.
Sammy Martin has to run around this kickoff, but he gets it and gets drilled by Tim Gordon at the 11-yard line. But a great kick by McFadden sent Martin way over to the right corner of his own end zone to have to get it. I think that's the way you have to kick to Sanders, too. You got to make him move laterally.
Well, as he told us yesterday, he said the problem is so many people are kicking to the corners and forcing me to come all the way across field to find the gap. That's exactly what they did to Martin that time. He's pretty impressive. You can tell when teams start kicking to the corner of the field that they have some respect for the return man. Now, the picket line they have set up is all the way to the other end of the field. Nice play on the part of Gordon. He gets past Marv Cook, number 46, and submarines Martin to make the play.
With a minute to go, field position at their own 12-yard line. What do? You have a 2-point lead. Just run it out?
Under these circumstances, I'd say so. We've already talked about Raymond Berry, a more of a conservative offensive coach. I would think with the defense they have, they just try and run the football and be happy to go in at halftime with a 2-point lead.
And they do run it this time. Perryman carries out over the 15-yard line. Tim Green tackles. 50 seconds left in the half. And the Patriots making no attempt right now to stop the clock either. Marion Campbell in his head coaching career has never had a winning team. They feel, and of course he wants to stay here because he feels like he's laid the groundwork here in Atlanta, and they are very close to becoming a winning team. It's got a long way to go this season with a 1-4 mark.
Yeah, but they've brought some talent here the last 2 years. Their drafts have really pulled out some gems, and they have another 2 first-round draft picks coming up next year. It's the third time the past 5 years that the Atlanta Falcons have had 2 number-1 draft choices. That kind of building will give you a winner real fast.
Some confusion in the New England backfield as to the alignment, but Perryman runs out to the 20, out to the 21-yard line, and that will do it for the first half. Running down, and that's it. The New England Patriots will leave the field ahead here in the first half, 15-13 at 15-13 New England. And we're underway. Jones will take it at his own 5-yard line, having to run across to get it. And he had a bit of an alley, and he brings it out over the 30 to the 34-yard line. Sammy Martin is in on the tackle, along with Eric Sievers, a tight end for New England. There's Martin, who is just a fine player on special teams, both sides of the ball. Chris Miller and the Falcons had a touchdown call back when he connected on a touchdown pass, but it was wiped out by a penalty, and it was on the rookie Jones, who later scored for the Falcons just before the end of the first half. 29-yard kickoff return by Jones. Kenny Flowers start in the Falcon backfield out of the I formation on 1st and 10. Miller going long for Collins. Stretches out but can't pull it down at the 25-yard line. It's been a good battle today between Collins and Raymond Claiborne, a battle that that man Claiborne won earlier when he stole a pass away from Collins.
Well, he wins most of them. Take a look at it. Man-to-man coverage all the way down the field. Collins turns this thing into a pure foot race, which a receiver never, ever wins. Not on any occasion did he ever give him a little bit of a jiggle at the line of scrimmage. Now, the fans here thought that Claiborne should have been called for interference, but it didn't appear from that angle that Sean Collins should have gotten the call.
Here's the rookie Collins. He was a #1 round draft choice, too. They had 2 picks in the first round. Sanders was their first pick, and then Collins after that. Lang out of the backfield in motion, 2nd and 10. Miller with a lot of time and a big opening hits Floyd Dixon. Dixon out to the 40, to the 41, and he'll be shy of a first down by about a yard. Maurice Hurst is over on the coverage for New England.
Dixon ran a pattern and a half against Maurice Hurst. He faked coming across the middle, then stopped and redirected himself and was wide open on that play.
Dixon in there now for the injured Michael Haynes. Haynes been bothered by a shoulder problem. Played in the first half, then came out, then went back in, but so far we've seen Dixon here at the start of the second half. It's 3rd down and 2 on the Falcons' first possession at their own 42-yard line here in the second half. Collins going to the top of the screen now as we look at Chris Miller. Falling down, handing the ball off, and that should cost them getting the first down. Gene Lang was lucky to really get the football from Miller, who was falling down, and we saw that happen to Flutie down at this end of the field, too. That might be because of the baseball field being sodded over down here.
It's right on the cusp of where the field gets, and it seemed that he just fell. I don't know if he tripped over someone. You really couldn't tell from that angle. But this has been the problem with the Falcon offensive running attack from day one. Let's see if we can see who he trips over. Actually, yeah, it was from the left side. Radloff stepped on his foot, and that's what caused Miller to go down.
Sammy Martin stands back deep as Millen, the 2 quarterbacks, Millen and Miller, talk it over on the Falcon bench. And the punt away by Fullhead. Martin at his 13-yard line. Another nice run back. Boy, I've been very impressed with that guy, Sammy Martin, today. New England gets their first crack with the ball here in the second half, holding on to a 2-point lead, and we'll see what Flutie does when we return to Atlanta.
How do you best harness the...
Him today, he re-injured a knee last week against the Oilers and was questionable all week and has not played here today. Flutie first down, back on first down, scrambling a bit and airing it out deep, and that could be picked off by Gordon, and it is. First and 10 Atlanta at the 26 as Tim Gordon had that ball thrown right, really, Jimmy, right to him.
Yeah, that was the first mistake, big mistake that Flutie's made in a couple of weeks. Last week he stayed away from the interception. He did it the week before. And here he throws it right in the middle of coverage. He comes out and sees a safety in the middle of the field besides Deion Sanders back there. Gordon is also standing in the middle, and there's absolutely no chance for Martin to make that catch.
They have really gone after Deion Sanders, haven't they?
They're trying to, but what a quarterback does is he comes out and looks to see if there's a safety in the middle of the field. Then he knows there's no man-to-man coverage. Flutie made the wrong read, and the interception is the result.
Atlanta with a break now, gets the ball back down by 2. Flowers carries out to the 30-yard line, and he'll get 4 yards, and it will be 2nd down and 6. Reynolds is in on the tackle for the Patriots, and Tim Goad. Flowers in there for the injured John Settle. We've seen a lot of Keith Jones, too, but Flowers gets the carry there. 12.5 remaining here in the third quarter.
Take a look at Goad, middle of your screen, number 72, doing a good job fighting off the block of number 78, Mike Kent, and getting it on the tackle.
The backfield in motion, New England showing blitz. And Flowers gets the carry out to the 31-yard line. The Patriots were scissoring in from both sides of the line. Goad coming out of the lineup now as it will be 3rd down. 3rd and 4 for Atlanta. Chicago just added to their lead. Tomczak throws a touchdown pass to Dennis Gentry. Cincinnati up by 10 over Miami, and the Giants lead 6-3. San Francisco by a touchdown over Dallas, tied at Tampa Bay, and Minnesota leading over Green Bay 17-7. 15-13 here, and a big play for the Falcons. 3rd and 4 as Jones goes down the line in motion. Miller to pass. Rolling out. Patriots getting to him. And they sack, but give the secondary a lot of credit for that one. Getting in there was Brett Williams, 96, along with McGrew and a host of others, but Miller had nobody to throw the ball to.
Well, he needs to have a conversation with his offensive linemen. They had the planned rollout. That was absolutely planned. He had two big linemen in front, and they kind of stood there. I mean, might as well give him a hot dog here. Take a look at it. Right side of your screen. They got this thing blocked pretty well. Nobody touches any of the defensive linemen coming over to make the play. There are three offensive linemen standing around doing nothing.
3 sacks in the game for New England. They had a good sack game last week against Houston, too, so their pass rush has been improving. Fulhag will punt to that man, Sammy Martin, as the Flutie interception does not come back and haunt the Patriots. Martin will take it at his 32. Of an effort. Late flag goes down too, and there are a lot of Falcons around that play. Martin made the catch on a 45-yard punt by Fulhag, and I don't know what kind of return the Patriots had set up, but he tried to go way outside and then cut it back up the middle. Face mask, Atlanta. So that will help out the Patriots field position too, as
Face mask. Number 95 on the kicking team. It's 5 yards. It'll be first down.
A 5-yard penalty. It was an inadvertent grab of the face mask, but Martin is still on the ground. Let's take a look, see if we can find it. Martin, number 82 on the punt return. And there's the grab of the face mask, and he does get pulled down to the ground. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. We'll be back to Atlanta right after this.
As Halloween approached, the Phantom of the Fridge.
It's $1.1 million a year, and that's a lot of money to pay for an emergency backup quarterback.
John Stevens coming near side. Boy, did the Falcons have that well read. And he finally goes down. Evan Cooper comes in there along with Rady, the linebacker, 59. I mean, they were all there, and Ben Thomas was there too.
Well, the Falcons have been much maligned defensively, especially against the run. They're 26th against the rush in the NFL, and here against Stevens doing a good job. You see 83 Cedric Jones trying to hold off one of the defensive backs. Even Cooper, however, comes over and makes the play. Nice play by the Falcons secondary.
Loss of 2 for New England. Second down and 12. 10-15 remaining here in the third quarter. It's 15-13 Patriots. Each team with a touchdown. Flutie sets up. Ball is back now at the 41-yard line. He's been in the pocket all day. Up in the air it goes, and it's picked off again. To the 50 to the 46-yard line, Evan Cooper comes up with the football, and Atlanta's got the ball back. That ball had a lot of air underneath it. That was a wobbler.
Yeah, it was a wobbler, but Hartley Dykes has got to get across the middle of the field. I mean, if you're going to play in this league and be a wide receiver, that's part of the job. And under these circumstances, Flutie had a hole in the middle of the field. Hartley Dykes has got to get after that football. He's got to knock it down. Middle of the field is the most dangerous pass there is. I'm not absolving Flutie of the deal because he was a little off target, but he had the right side to go to it at. Let's see what Flutie had to say about this. He's getting after it, huh?
Last week we saw him get in a push and shove match with a very big William Fullers, and now he chases down Cooper on that tackle after the interception. He's thrown 2 in a row now. So the Falcons get it back now deep in New England territory at the 47-yard line, trailing by 2. Miller dumps it off. The tight end Heller fumbles the football. Fred Marion kicks it around, loose football, and I believe Lawrence McGrew might have come up with it for New England. It is. In a rash of turnovers in this football game, interceptions, interception, and now fumble. New England gets the ball back almost from the original line of scrimmage from where Flutie threw that last interception.
Yeah, the Falcons cross 2 receivers over across the middle. Heller gets it in, and it's McGrew who actually knocks it out initially. This is a double good one for McGrew, huh? Marion tries to pick it up and get for the score, but it is a McGrew again who comes back and picks up the fumble. That's a double goal star for that young.
So Lawrence McGrew up with the fumble on an all-around great play, as Jimmy said, gives Doug Flutie and the Patriots the ball back at their own 40-yard line. Lynn Dawson, the tight end, changes sides of the line of scrimmage now and is down at the bottom of your screen. He's 87, and that's Jones in motion. Staying up top. Flutie fires, and this time Hartley Dykes makes the catch across the middle and is into Atlanta territory at the 48-yard line, where Scott Case brings him down.
And Hartley Dykes, the mistake before, not getting across the middle quick enough to bat down that Flutie pass or make the catch. This time does the good job of coming across the middle, because again, you're not a real NFL player until you come across the middle and catch the football.
Well, he took the wrath of Cephalo on that last play.
You know,
brutal attack.
A brutal attack. It's tough. You know, being a receiver in this league is not an easy thing to do. And the only tough thing they ask you is come across the middle and catch the football.
Well, working with you these last 4 weeks, I have learned not to take that route. Stevens is open. Tries to make a one-handed catch at the 16-yard line, and he can't come down with it. Out of bounds, and it's incomplete. And it will be 2nd and 10 with 8:57 left to go here in the quarter. On the sideline, wondering what's gone wrong today, Chris Miller. Couldn't help that last play as Heller just coughed up the football.
It's unusual that nobody's sitting around the quarterback. Usually everybody wants to get around the star because they know he's on camera. You know, let's say hello to mom. But an unusual side of Miller alone on the sidelines. We talk about baseball players. He was drafted in '83 by the Blue Jays and again in '85 by the Mariners. You get a lot of baseball players out of this field today.
He's a shortstop, whereas Hartley Dykes is a pitcher. 2nd and 10. Flutie, this time he's going to run, and actually bumps into his own man as he bumped into Robert Perryman, and Perryman upset the run, but Flutie gets up near a first down inside the 40-yard line of Atlanta, down at the 38-yard line. Good decision that time. The first time he's taken off with it today.
Yeah, well, one of the problems if you're going to try to keep Flutie into the pocket and you rush from the outside, as you see, that's exactly what the Falcons are doing. You leave the middle of the field wide open, and if he doesn't run into Perryman right there, he picks up the first down. But still, the Patriots will take it. They've got 3rd and a short 1 to go.
3rd down and 1. Last time they came up in this situation, 3rd down and 1, they tried to throw and didn't come up with the first down. 2-back set. They're not going to get it. Although he keeps diving, and he might have gotten up near the stick. The Falcons thought the play was over, but Robert Perryman didn't, and he kept diving through to try and get the first down, and he got within inches, so close that Jim Tunney is calling in the sticks, and they will measure. What a great 3rd and 4th effort by Perryman, because the first 2 took him nowhere. They needed to get right at the 36-yard line.
And that's all Perryman. He got it.
First down on a great run by Perryman.
The Falcons can't play this any better. They really can't. It's only Perryman and his guts and his instinct that got this first down. Take a look at it. Running over the right side, that group of offensive linemen, Paul Fairchild, he stood up. And, you know, he's getting pushed back by Rady, number 59 in the middle, but it's Perryman who sneaks away and gets enough for the first down.
Gutsy first down by Robert Perryman, and the ball is at the 36-yard line of Atlanta. First down, New England. This all set up on a Lawrence McGrew fumble recovery. Reggie Dupart. They just can't run to the outside today, as getting in there was Jesse Tuggle. He's only 5'11". He's out of Valdosta State here in Georgia. The only way he made the team, he was undrafted, made it as a free agent. Marion Campbell got a telephone call from one of his coaches down at Valdosta State and said, you really should take a look at this guy. He came into camp, they saw the size of him. It's not all that big, but he has made it with plays like that.
At 5'11", 225, he better be awfully quick, and he had to be to run down Dupart that time.
Loss of 2 makes it 2nd and 12. Marion Campbell hoping that his defense can hold here as they trail by 2 points in the game, 15-13, and Flutie's back. A fake going for Cedric Jones. Double coverage, picked off by Atlanta. Let's see who got it. It's Evan Cooper again. 3 interceptions for Flutie, and Cooper has 2 of them.
Well, for the second time, Flutie misread the defense. See Cooper in the middle of the field, number 20. It's not a man-to-man coverage. Sanders is on the outside, but it's Cooper you've got to worry about. The underthrow this time gets Flutie in trouble, and the 3rd interception of the game. The Falcons will take over 1st and 10 at their 20.
15-13 here in Atlanta. As we have hit turnoveritis here in the second half. Fumbles fumbles and interceptions. Miller connects with Floyd Dixon. Dixon out over the 30 to the 31-yard line. It should be good for an Atlanta first down, and it is. 11-yard pass play, coverage by Maurice Hurst.
Shows you the strength of Miller's arm. Coming into today's contest, he had 65% completion rate. You see the tight end going to the right. That's Heller, and that opens up the gap for the receiver coming back to the football. Nice throw on the part of Miller, and a good catch by Floyd Dixon.
Dixon and Collins are the wide receivers. They stay in there. Keith Jones comes down, and he's in a slot at the bottom of your screen out of the backfield. They give it to Kenny Flowers, and Flowers goes off the left side as Atlanta runs the ball out near their own 35-yard line. Brent Williams in on the tackle for New England.
This is a team, the Falcons, that have had problems with their offensive line due to a lot of injuries. Now Stan Clayton, their starting left guard, has a sprained ankle. He's out. Wayne Radloff, number 55, the former guy from the USFL, is taking his place.
Clayton went down injured on the touchdown scored by Jones. Jones ran up the back of him. Clayton gave him the block that got him into the end zone, but paid the price with a sprained ankle. Second down at 6. Ball is near the 35-yard line. Miller fires into a big crowd, but he fires a strike to the 45-yard line. Look at all those Patriots, and then pick out Sean Collins, and he's the lone Falcon, but he's the important one. He's got the ball, and the Atlanta Falcons have another first down.
The reason for all of that bunch of people in the middle, take a look at Heller, number 80. He's right next to Collins. That's a mistake by one of those two receivers. That's the reason why all three Patriots defenders were right in the area. Somebody made a mistake. It's either Heller or it's Collins.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and a first down for the Falcons as they move out to their own 45-yard line. Flowers, the lone back now, standing behind Chris Miller. 4:42 left to go here in the third quarter from Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium. A little delay to Flowers, and he stopped immediately out of the 46-yard line. He'll get about 1 yard, and that's it, as New England was right there in the presence of Ed Reynolds, and Roland James up to make the stop too. James makes a lot of tackles. We mentioned he had 12 last week, and he's been around the ball all day today, too.
Well, he was nominated for the defensive player in the AFC, but take a look at Goat on the inside. Fralick takes him down. That's a takedown. That's Saturday Night Wrestling. That's what that should be. Goat taking it on the chin from Go Fralick, number 79.
4 minutes to go, third quarter, second down 9. Atlanta in a passing situation, and back goes Miller. Patriots coming in a long, long pass down the sideline. Incomplete. And up arguing on the play is Sean Collins. Good coverage down there by Maurice Hurst. It's always good when you don't get the flag, but the two rookies there, there's Hurst, the rookie out of Southern, went up against Collins.
Well, Sean Collins has to learn, as he did on the previous play when he was going up against Raymond Claiborne, you can't turn this thing into a foot race. Most defensive backs are faster than wide receivers. You got to give a little wiggle at the line of scrimmage, pretend like you're going to the out pattern, and then get back up the field. Miller can't be blamed for it. He threw it in a spot that it's either going to be caught by his receiver or by no one.
Four-man defensive front for New England. Jeter checks into the lineup now. Lawrence McGrew becomes a down lineman. Jeter from the outside, and Sims, they get there late. There's a deflected ball up there. And on a real ping-pong play, Collins almost ended up with it. Jim Bowman almost had the interception for New England. And the ball was bouncing around, and Collins was diving to the ground, and he almost came up with it himself. Atlanta, after moving the ball out to their 45-yard line, cannot come up with another first down, and this drive is over. They'll punt.
Once again, there are two receivers right in the middle of the field. There's Collins, but there's also Keith Jones, number 38. And when you put two receivers together in the field, you're going to wind up with a lot of traffic defensively. And Chris Miller's been fortunate twice that he didn't get the thing picked off.
Sammy Martin, who got face masked the last time he tried to run one back, is okay and back into the lineup. Takes the ball at his own 2. And will land short of the 20-yard line. Now, that ball certainly would have gone into the end zone and out of the end zone, but instead, Martin opts to run it out, and New England is pinned in their own territory, protecting a 2-point lead.
Hey, guys and grills, got some party time tips for you from Extra Gold Draft. First, never party with anything less than the full tilt taste of Extra Gold. This is serious.
That's always a bunch of nonsense. You know, if someone's going to say it, stand up and be a man about it.
On first down, Perryman gets the carry. short yardage as Atlanta is trying to get fired up.
And that article in the Boston newspaper really did affect this team. Flutie was upset by it. Grogan was upset by it. The lifeful wide receiver in the NFL, that's Hartley Dykes going against Scott Case. See, defensive backs get mad when you try to cut them at the knees. Now, this is strange psychology. This is the Case, the veteran, trying to tell the rookie not to cut him at the knees. Now, if he goes downfield, do you think Case is not going to knock his block off if he's standing?
I think he is.
Yeah, I think so.
Second down and 8. Cedric Jones in motion. Flutie is 1 for his last 13 as Stevens goes over the 20 to the 21 and runs into the arms of Tony Casillas and Robert Moore. And New England will come up third down and long yardage with 2:35 remaining here in the third quarter. The Patriots have not been able to move the football here in the second half. Flutie has thrown 3 interceptions here in the second half. Casillas now on the defensive front for the Falcons, along with Tony Bowick there, number 70. Grogan on the sideline, signaling out the play to Flutie. Raymond Berry pacing in the background. It's 3rd and 5 from the New England 21-yard line with 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter, and the Pats nursing a 2-point lead. Stevens. And for the first time today, John has running room and a New England first down out to the 31-yard line as the right side of that Patriot offensive line was going with them.
They pulled everybody on that play, and Stevens getting some nice blocking by Sean Farrell and Mike Babb in front. Do a good job of setting it up. And again, he's that tough kind of guy that's going to get it done for you. Here it is coming across. That's Farrell, number 62, just kind of getting in somebody's way, but enough for Stevens to get the first down.
We have a Falcon injured down on the field as we look at the Stevens run again. This has been missing today from the New England attack. John Stevens, when we talked to him last night, first of all, he didn't want to hear anything about a sore ankle. Isn't it? He just kept saying, totally healthy, totally healthy. And he thought he would be very busy today, and really he hasn't been. Evan Cooper is down injured on that last play and still down on the ground.
Tells you a little bit about the mentality. You know, we said, John, are you all right? He said, totally fine, completely. Not even wanting to admit the possibility of a slight injury might exist.
Warren Moon has thrown a touchdown pass, and Houston trying to stay away from losing 2 in a row and going 2-4 if they lose that game. They're within 2. Cincinnati holding on at home. The Giants have moved ahead of Washington 13-10. San Francisco back on top of Dallas now, 21-14. Tampa Bay by a field goal over Detroit. And Minnesota, 2 Tommy Kramer touchdown passes have opened that game up now over Green Bay, 26-7. 15-13, New England over Atlanta. The Patriots just got a big first down for themselves on the run by John Stevens, and it's first down. Out over their own 30 at the 32. Perryman this time hit hard. Tony Casillas is in there. First man on the scene. The all-pro out of Oklahoma, Casillas. And Hartley Dykes is starting to get into it with Case, and now this is becoming an everyday occurrence or an every play occurrence.
Well, you know what? They're trying to intimidate him because he didn't come over the middle a little tough the last time. Remember we talked about that because a week ago he had the same problem. Defensive backs will pick you out if you're not willing to go across the middle and intimidate them, and that's exactly what's going on downfield.
Now you're speaking about the time that you lambasted him earlier in the game.
For not coming tough across the middle.
Yeah.
Dykes cannot allow Case to intimidate him, and he's got to go after him and do it quickly.
Second down and 9. Perryman picked up 1 tough yard. Stevens changes directions on the play, dives over the 35 onto the 37-yard line. Albert Shelley is there along with John Rady.
It was the same play they tried just a little bit earlier, getting the first down with Stevens, but they had good penetration, the Falcons did, and that forced Stevens to take a different angle.
Third quarter is probably going to run out before they get this one off. There's Lawrence McGrew over on the Patriots sideline. He's come up with a fumble recovery today and has played well, as has their defense, as 3 quarters are in the book here in Atlanta. There's the gun at the end of 3 quarters of play. The New England Patriots holding on to a 15-13 lead over the Falcons.
We used to have a chair in my...
Those were the numbers in the third quarter. 3rd and 5 out of the shotgun. Flutie has it batted down. who did it. Malcolm Taylor. The third time today, Taylor has come in on a third down situation and batted back a Flutie pass.
9 inches is what separates Malcolm Taylor from the size of Doug Flutie. Taylor is 6'6", Flutie is 5'9", and again, the offensive linemen have got to get into the legs of Malcolm Taylor to force him to get his hands down. That way, Flutie will have a clear shot of throwing the football downfield.
And while Flutie points out what went wrong there on that play, Deion Sanders waits and is trying to get the crowd going, and they are going in formation. Jeff Fiegels has the pressure on him now of trying to make Sanders run after this ball. Hit it, but he hangs it over on the side of the field, and so at least Sanders will not get it, and then ends up with a pretty decent roll inside the 30-yard line at the 28. So Sanders, all the waving, got him nothing on that play because he couldn't get the football. And Fiegels goes over to the sideline. A bad punt at all. A defensive punt to be sure. Second half of the doubleheader coming up. The Colts and Denver from Mile High Stadium in Denver. John Elway against Eric Dickerson. The second half of our doubleheader here on NBC today. The Colts with an impressive pounding over the Bills last week. And Denver's 4-1 in the AFC West. Atlanta down by 2, 15-13. Jim Donovan and Jimmy Cefalo with you from Fulton County Stadium. Checking into the lineup, George Thomas at wide receiver now as Miller looks across the middle, and Keith Jones makes the catch and then has it knocked away by Fred Marion. Marion in with the hit at that safety spot out of Miami, comes in and knocks down Jones after he made the catch.
And a good throw by Miller. He threads the 2 defensive players. Look at it, right down the seam of the defense. And you know, you got to give all the credit to both Jones and Marion. They go tough after the football together, but up in the air like that for a receiver, tough catch to come away with.
Second down and 10, putting themselves in a passing situation again. The ball is at their own 29-yard line. That's George Thomas down the line in motion. Flags go down on this play. We haven't had too many penalties in this game. Atlanta had a big one. It cost them a touchdown.
Reset the clock to 12 seconds, please. 12 seconds.
Jim Tunney asking the clock to be reset at 12 seconds. So we're at 30. There it is. Second down and 10 for Miller and the Falcons with 14:37 left in regulation time. Bears by 2. Miami hanging tough, Jimmy, after winning over Cleveland last week. They're giving the AFC Central teams fits. And the Giants leading by 3 over Washington in the 4th. San Francisco was tied 14-14, but they've moved ahead. Tampa Bay leading over Detroit. Rodney Peete threw a touchdown pass in that game for the Lions. And Minnesota, on the strength of 2 Tommy Kramer touchdown passes in the second half, now lead over Green Bay 26-7. New England has led 15-13 since the half. And it is second and 10 for Miller and the Falcons at their own 29-yard line. Time, but he runs into the waiting arms of Brent Williams. So the decision to run came a little bit late, and 96 Williams was right there and ends up with an easy sack.
Well, the credit there has to go to the secondary of the Patriots. This is what's known as a coverage sack. Miller wanted to throw it downfield, but no one open, and he's got more time than he'd ever want. So you credit this sack really to the secondary, a secondary of the Patriots that's been much maligned. They're very young back there, but they're learning how to play. Take a look at all the time in the world he has until finally he's got to tuck it away. That's Brent Williams, number 96, who comes over with the sack.
Not a bad day. 4 sacks today. Setting up a 3rd and 11. Miller fires across the middle, intended for Jones, incomplete. The ball was delivered low with Rodney Rice on the coverage for New England, and a very ineffective series for Marion Campbell's offense. And Fulhag will come in and punt away to Sammy Martin. So neither team is able to generate anything here in the second half. There have been no prolonged drives. Fullhag stands back inside his 15 at the 13-yard line. And rides it out. Sammy Martin, a good punt. Over his shoulder and out of bounds at the 6-yard line. Great punt by Scott Fullhag. And we'll be right back after these messages from your local station. The punting matchup has been a good one today. Flutie really hearing it now from the Falcon fans. Hartley Dykes has it and skips away nicely out to the 16-yard line.
And does a good job of it, not only going up and catching the football in front of the defensive back, but being tough and scrambling and getting a couple of more yards. He's going against Case. Remember, Case was taunting him a little bit earlier, and he doesn't put up with it. Makes the catch, the tough catch, and gets the tough couple of yards.
Dykes getting a lot of playing time now here in the second half, and really through the bulk of the afternoon. Stanley Morgan went out early in the game with a right hamstring pull and has not been back and won't be. Second down and 1 on a 9-yard pass play. New England leading by 2, 15-13, fourth quarter. Stevens, he has the first down, buries his head and goes off the right side out to the 20-yard line. John Rady and Andre Bruce. Haven't heard much from Bruce today.
Andre Bruce, the former #1 pick of the Falcons a year ago, the #1 pick in the overall draft. Great cover ability, gets after the quarterback as good as anyone for a young guy, and he has been quiet thus far.
He has not been near Flutie all day long, and Flutie's been in that pocket all day long too, back and throwing. First and 10 New England, 12:29 left. The ball is at their own 20, out of the I formation. First man through, Perryman is shut down. Mike Gann, the left defensive end, is over there to make the stop, and always Tony Casillas. There's Casillas, 75, getting up. Short gain for Perryman of about 2 yards out to the 22, making it second down and 8.
Casillas having quite a game today. Last week he missed the second half of the contest with the Rams with a sprained ankle, despite the fact that he was out that period of time. He still leads the team in tackles and came back and played as strongly today as if he had never been injured.
Cedric Jones and Hartley Dykes, the wide receivers. John Stevens with 53 yards today. He had 59 last week on his return to the lineup against the Oilers, and a touchdown. Flutie calling signals, coming across with Ben Thomas, 72. But there might have been some movement on the New England line, so Jim Tunney will straighten it all out with the help of his crew. Here's Raymond Berry.
Ball start, number 62. Still second down.
Sean Farrell is nailed with the false start.
Sean Farrell, the guard out of Penn State. Left side of your screen. The guard position pulls up just a little bit early. And once those offensive linemen get into their three-point stance, they cannot move.
So instead of second and 8, it becomes second and 13 on the 5-yard walk-off. Back to the 17-yard line. The clock running with 11:20 remaining in the game. New England by 2, deep in their own territory. Perryman heads out. Bruce charging from the outside. The dump pass to Jones, and he stopped at the 19-yard line as Green and Case team up on the tackle for the Falcons. He'll be shy of the 20-yard line. It'll be third down and long for New England. Call it 3rd and 10.
There's the committee trying to make the decision. It's already been made as Grogan signaling into plays to Doug Flutie. And they bring in their wide receiver group. Take a look at the play. This is the same one they scored the touchdown in earlier. Cedric Jones trying to sneak across the middle.
Flutie out of the shotgun. Severs and Dupart are in the backfield with him. Third down and 10. Cedric Jones cannot hang on at 31-yard line. He would have had a first down if he would have been able to hang on. Case on the coverage and gets congratulations from the rest of the Falcon defense. And Fiegels will have to punt deep in his own territory to Deion Sanders.
Tim Green was all over Flutie that time, forcing him to get rid of the football a little earlier. Man-to-man. The guard position pulls up just a little bit early. And once those offensive linemen get into their three-point stance, they cannot move.
So instead of 2nd and 8, it becomes 2nd and 13 on the 5-yard walk-off. Back to the 17-yard line. The clock running with 11:20 remaining in the game. New England by 2 deep in their own territory. Perryman heads out. Bruce charging from the outside. The dump pass to Jones, and he stopped at the 19-yard line as Green and Case team up on the tackle for the Falcons. He'll be shy of the 20-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and long for New England. Call it 3rd and 10.
There's the committee trying to make the decision. It's already been made as Grogan signaling into plays to Doug Flutie. And they bring in their wide receiver group. Take a look at the play. This is the same one they scored the touchdown in earlier. Cedric Jones trying to sneak across the middle.
Flutie out of the shotgun. Sievers and Dupart are in the backfield with him. 3rd down and 10. Cedric Jones cannot hang on at the 31-yard line. He would have had a first down if he would have been able to hang on. Case on the coverage and gets congratulations from the rest of the Falcon defense. And Fiegels will have to punt deep in his own territory to Deion Sanders.
Tim Green was all over Flutie that time, forcing him to get rid of the football a little earlier. Man-to-man coverage. Cedric Jones going against Case. The ball is well enough thrown, particularly when you consider the fact that Flutie got slammed. Number 99, Tim Green, right part of your screen, going right over David Vienne and forcing Flutie to throw it quicker than he wanted to.
So the pressure is on Fiegels. He gets it away. A good high punt. Sanders from his own 30 gets away from Eric Coleman, gets away from Sievers, and goes out of bounds into the Atlanta bench at the 47-yard line as New England had him hemmed in, but Sanders got away. So he gives the Falcons good field position, and they continue to trail by 2. We'll be back. Has brought the ball out to the 48-yard line of Atlanta. They trail by 2. Brad Beckman checks in at tight end for Atlanta. First time we've seen him today. Miller back on 1st down. Patriots rush is trying to get him from the outside. He dumps the ball off. It was going, it looked like to, is that Hoover? No, Jamie Dukes, the center. And the flag goes down.
And it's a good flag. I mean, Hoover was had no eligible receiver in the area. The only one close was Jamie Dukes, who's the starting center.
Is he calling grounding on? Intentional grounding? Watch it again.
I think that is the call. Take a look at it. He has no one to throw the football to, and he just gets rid of it in order to avoid the sack. And that is the question about whether you call intentional grounding or not. That is Jamie Dukes, number 64, who's on the ground there. Again, it's great coverage by the secondary of the Patriots. And there was a receiver in the field. Gene Lang, number 33, was close enough, but because Jamie Dukes got forced downfield being hit by Lang, that's the reason the flag was thrown. But he really was trying to go to Gene Lang, number 33.
Well, I'm glad, Jimmy, you didn't say that. Look at that 64, Jamie Dukes. Now, he should have dove out and made the catch.
If he was trying to come across the middle, he should have
made that catch. At the 38-yard line now, it is 2nd down and 20. As they lose the down on that play. Keith Jones out in motion. Miller back. Beckman, the tight end, makes the catch. Short gain out over the 40 to the 42. Roland James is right there, though, on the tight end, Beckman, to make the tackle, and it will be 3rd down and 16 with 9:57 left in regulation time. 15-13 New England. That's the point where we have been since halftime. Deion Sanders on the bench. unless they can convert on this 3rd down and long, 3rd and 16. That pretty good Sanders punt return will go for naught. New England rushing 4. Out of the backfield. The ball is caught by Gene Lang, but he'll be short of the 1st down as he dips into New England territory at the 46-yard line. But Johnny Rembert is there on the chase for New England, and Atlanta must punt.
Well, the Patriots played it smart. They just rushed the 4 down linemen. They dropped everybody back into a deep zone, and when you get caught with 3rd and 16 and less than 10 minutes to go in the contest, that's exactly the problem for Chris Miller. He had no holes to pick anyone out. More than willing to give up that short pass to Gene Lang underneath.
Well, it seems like all day we've been saying Sammy Martin is back deep, ready to take this punt back, but he is once again. Fulhag hit a 65-yarder his last time. Martin calls for a fair catch. It hits at the 1 and goes in. New England gets a break. It will come out to the 20-yard line. George Thomas was down there on the coverage as Fulhag tried to pin the Patriots in, but it's a touchback. New England ball when we come back. The Colts and Broncos getting ready to get it revved up out at Mile High Stadium. The second half of your NBC NFL football doubleheader today. 1st and 10, Doug Flutie and the Patriots from their own 20. Flutie fires out of the backfield. 4-yard pickup to Robert Perryman. Tackled by Rady and Jesse Tuggle. The 2 inside linebackers team up on Perryman. It will be 2nd down and 6. Well, the Bears lead by 9 over Houston. Miami has tied it up on a Stoyanovich field goal with, the last time we checked, about 4.5 minutes remaining in regulation time. The Giants trying to hold off Washington 20-17. San Francisco has opened it up on Dallas. Dallas looks to be going 0-6 now. Tampa Bay leading, and Minnesota on their way to a win. 15-13, New England hanging on here in Atlanta. 2nd and 5, they call it. Stevens gets a 1st down over the 30-yard line. Bruce Armstrong, the right tackle, was the lead blocker in front of Stevens, and a good-looking play for New England.
Yeah, it really was. You would expect them to try to run the football as much as possible, eat as much of the 8-minute clock up as they possibly can. They pull everybody from the right side here. Bruce Armstrong, number 78, he makes the key block coming around. Good block on Rady, number 59, and Stevens gets the rest done.
Ball out at the 34-yard line at a 1st down for New England, and the clock running. 7:35 remaining in the game. Perryman and Stevens in the backfield. Hardly Dykes and Cedric Jones, the wide receivers. Right back again. They set up a little screen pass. Stevens doesn't have any blocking in front of it, and he'll go down. Robert Moore up to make the tackle for the Falcons. 1 of 5 that were around John Stevens.
Well, Stevens had 3 or 4 of his offensive linemen in front of him, but they didn't get anything done. Take a look at it. They set up very quickly, that offensive line in front, then they all move in unison to the left. They have something going, but another great play by Tim Green. He was the one that really forced that one back inside. And a nice play also by Robert Moore, number 34, to pin Stevens into the sideline.
A loss of 3 makes it 2nd down and 13 now. 6:48 left. Stevens over to the New England sideline. As the Patriots bring in the extra wide receiver now, Sammy Martin. New England really only has 3 healthy wide receivers, with Morgan going out and Fryer not playing today with a sore knee. So on 2nd and 13, Flutie gets it knocked down, and I believe it's Malcolm Taylor again. The 4th deflected pass by Malcolm Taylor today.
And if they keep NFL records, it's got to be right up there. I've never heard of one single defensive lineman knocking as many passes down against a quarterback. You got to talk about the size of Flutie, 5'9 3/4. Take a look at it, right side of your screen. Again, they don't get the arms down to Malcolm Taylor, and he's easy enough to knock it down. The sad part about it for the Patriots, Eric Severs, number 85, was open on the right side. Flutie, over the years, has said, I can always see my receivers downfield. The problem is sometimes the receivers can't see him looking back into the backfield.
3rd and 13. Sacked by Andre Bruce. There he is. He said, or we said, he hadn't been appearing all day. And presto.
what do you think about that dance?
I think it needs some work.
Yeah, I do too.
He better appear a little bit more.
Mark Gastineau, he's not, but I tell you, getting after the quarterback, he does a nice job. Look at the top part of your screen, actually. On the right, Bruce beating the tackle to the inside right away. And he's beaten David Vienne. Vienne has been, there's the sack dance. David Vienne was replacing Danny Villa today because Villa had an arm injury. And thus far, Vienne has not been up to the task.
So once again, New England plays with dynamite as Sanders waits. There's the dynamite. End over end punch, short. Sanders, 45. Good coverage by New England. As the Patriots get down there, Perryman, I believe, was the player down there. Mike Morris, who has been brought in to snap for New England, their long snapper, was also down there, too. He was brought over from Kansas City after he was released by the Chiefs this week. From the New England 49, Miller steps up. Gene Lang to the Patriot 29 and a first down.
This is a great job by Lang and by Miller. Lang was trying to help out in the backfield with a block. Nobody open down the sideline. Lang breaks free. And while all of the Patriots secondary has moved deep, he's the one who sneaks in for a 20-yard gain. I'm sorry, Jim, we talked about in the opening, Miller has got that improvisation going just as good as Doug Flutie does.
First and 10 from the 29-yard line of the Patriots with 5 minutes to go. Good play by New England as they nail Lang in the backfield. First man through was Tim Goad, the nose tackle. Lang got out of that tackle a bit, although Goad remained holding on, and the rest of the Patriots finished him off as we are under 5 minutes. It's a loss of 2 back to the 31.
Goad, number 72, working against Jamie Dukes, beats him right at the line of scrimmage, and that's what fouled it up. Rembert, number 52, also in on the tackle. The fans here at Fulton County Stadium seem a little unsettled. They want Miller to throw the football again. But right now they are within field goal range. And what Marion Campbell is trying to do is just give his team an opportunity to win the football game. They'll have to go to the air here, but you can bet it'll be short passes and passes that are conservative in nature.
Second and 12. Miller setting up. Incomplete. He had a lot of time. He did not want Floyd Dixon. It looked like he wanted Collins down the far sideline, but he opted to go then underneath, and Dixon could not hang on to a bullet with Vincent Brown chasing on the play for the Patriots. So it is third down and 12 with 4:17 left.
All right, take a look at it again. Great coverage by the Patriots secondary. You're right, he was looking down the left sideline first, but had to come off and go to the receiver underneath, and it should have been caught, setting up a little bit easier third down situation for the Falcons.
New England has 4 sacks today. Let's see if they come hard after Miller this time on third down and 12. That's Collins in motion. Flag is down. Miller ad-libbing now with Sims chasing him. Slides down inside the 25 rather, at the 23-yard line. But remember, there's a penalty down. Rembert, the New England linebacker, points that it's against Atlanta, and it is offside against the Falcons. Now, if you're New England, do you take the penalty here, push them back?
I think you do. Under these circumstances, that would be about a 40-yard field goal from here.
Number 89, lined up in the neutral zone, was offside at the snap. 5 yards, still third down.
George Thomas lined up offside.
It's tough to do for a receiver because you're looking in at the football. You know, it's kind of tough to do, George. But here in this situation, they take the penalty, and there really is no choice because it was a dead ball fall. He lined up inside of the neutral zone to begin the snap. But if that had not been the case, they would have taken the penalty anyway because you push them back and out of field goal range. The key here is to stop him on this third down situation.
It's third and 17. Down. A great open field tackle by Maurice Hurst, who is holding his hand as he might have caught the spike of Lang. Maurice Hurst, 37 down injured, now getting up.
A good Good job on the part of Lang. He gets them into field goal position. That's all he wanted to do. Now take a look, see if we can't find the injury. Yeah, he gets kicked, actually, as he tries to make the tackle, but he does do a good job at keeping Lang away from the first down. But this will set up a potential game-winning field goal by the Falcons.
Because he's trying to stay away from the line of scrimmage. The spot will come at about the 30-yard line, making it close to a 40-yard field goal. He's 2 for 2 on the day. So here we go. New England leads by 2, 15-13, but if McFadden hits, the Falcons take the lead. No good. He missed. And the Patriots maintain the lead with 3:21 left. He misses from 40 yards.
Yeah, the surprising thing is that McFadden is the sixth best field goal kicker in NFL history.
Watch yourself there now. Come on.
73% he's been kicking, and
keep it clean.
Today he misses from 40 yards away.
So Flutie to the huddle. Marion Campbell go back to the 5-yard penalty on Thomas, and that was critical, lining up offside. 1st and 10 New England from the 22-yard line. They need some first downs. So they run that play with Armstrong out in front of Stevens. Stevens was heading out of bounds, then realized he was heading out of bounds, and quick put the brakes on and tried to stay in. Now, did he?
No, he got out of bounds. That was the problem. You're absolutely right. That's like giving the Falcons another timeout. They have 3 remaining, 3:15 left in this game, and there's plenty of time. Take a look at it. He gets right to the sideline and realizes he wants to just try to preserve as much time as he can by staying in bounds, and left foot gets out of there, and too late, John.
We have an injured Patriot offensive lineman anyway, and I believe back to Stevens, this time to the far side. Over the 25 to the 26-yard line. Maybe they'll give him the 27. They will. Every yard counts right now as they try and get that big first down here to keep the clock going. 3 minutes now under that as we go around the league again on Sunday, number 6. He's going to put it up. Or is he? He didn't get the first down. Mike Gann got him from behind as Flutie tried to high-step his way out of the pocket. And he goes down at the 29-yard line with 2:15 left. And now another timeout has been called, this one by Atlanta.
That's a good idea by Atlanta, because now they use the 2-minute warning as yet another timeout for him. This looked as if it might have been a quarterback draw. Flutie taking 2 steps back and then trying to get right up the gut. Not enough for the first down, however. But the timeout by the Falcons, the reason, now they'll get the football back.
Good-looking punt. He avoids 1 tackle. But New England has excellent coverage down there. Vincent Brown, Marv Cook in on the tackle of Deion Sanders. And Atlanta starts out over their own 30-yard line with 2:02 left, so we don't have the 2-minute warning yet. Miller is back into the Falcon huddle. As we speculated that he might have been limping, he looks okay as he heads back in. All right, they're actually inside their 30 at their 29. 1st and 10, down by 2. After this play, we'll have the 2-minute warning. Jones heads out in motion. Miller has flushed out of the pocket, fires behind Gene Lang, and he cannot come up with it. Johnny Rembert, coming from the outside, was once again in the face of Chris Miller. 1:57 left in this one from Atlanta. New England holding on to a 2-point lead. We'll be back. 2nd down and 10. Big rush by the Patriots, and Johnny Rembert is right on the back of Gene Lang. Brent Williams picks up the loose football just in case. They said Lang fumble, but he didn't. But boy, were the Patriots coming. Milford Hodge, who just checked in, number 97.
Not giving him anything to do.
3rd down and 10. Incomplete as he tried to go across the middle to Sean Collins. Maurice Hurst and Roland James on the coverage. Miller's got Collins open. And it's a first down out over the 45-yard line and a late flag. They might have gotten Eric Coleman for a face mask on Collins.
See what he was making, and that's what the call is going to be. You see Jim Tunney grabbing on as if it's a face mask call.
Grabbing the helmet 5 yards, adding to the end of the run. 5 yards, first down.
And there's a zone.
No huddle from the 20. This time it goes to Jones, and he goes out of bounds as he is brought down by Eric Coleman at the New England 16. There's McFadden. He missed earlier. But the Patriots couldn't run enough time off the clock with their offense. Miller and his team got a chance to come back out onto the field. Connected on a key 4th down play. And now they are trying to get the ball into position for McFadden to get a second crack. Flutie and Berry can only hope that either McFadden would miss where their defense can come up with a turnover, because it doesn't look like they would get the ball back with a lot of time left. There's 59 seconds left. Lang up the middle. Lang to the 10. And up near an Atlanta first down. Seconds as we show you at the 10-yard line, first down. Jones inside the 10, down at the 8-yard line. Just send the ball right up the middle. Putting the ball in the hands of a rookie, Keith Jones. They obviously have an awful lot of confidence in him. 20 seconds. Running down. Looks like that's it for the offense, and it will be McFadden time as Flutie will watch it. And with 9 seconds remaining, the Falcons call a timeout to get the field goal team on. Grass here in Atlanta, not on the newly laid sod. So here it is. And it's good.
On the sideline, and he agrees with the official.
Rice will take it and calls an immediate timeout. They don't have any timeouts, though. But he goes down on the ground at the 17-yard line.
What he did was declare himself down, which is perfectly legal in the NFL. Right. He didn't have a timeout remaining, but you don't have to be touched. You can grab the football and say, "I'm down, ref," and they'll give it to you. Pretty smart play right there by Rodney Rice to do that. Well, you wonder if the opportunity to try and throw the football up in the air and get a Hail Mary is any greater than it is.
Out of the shotgun. Down by 1. Andre Bruce got him, and that's the ball game. The Falcons sack